that it's a lifetime ban, but when you're as little prominence as Jonte Porter, you have got to make a statement on this, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, his brother, Michael Porter Jr., you guys remember him.
Oh, yeah.
He is much more known.
Three of the bets were multi-game parlay bets that included one Raptors game in which Porter bet that the Raptors would lose. All three bets lost, should be noted there, but he tried to manipulate what were prop bets, individual prop bets, including bets on himself with other people.
You know, we just
that's a definite way to make sure you don't get to that number.
We always point out that while, you know, the debate on what gambling should or shouldn't be, or its role in sports or whatever, or the advertising, all those things are debated. I get it. Without any sort of regulation in gambling, you may not catch these things. I mean, that's the reason that Brad Bohannon got caught at Alabama. It's the reason Jonte Porter got caught. It's the reason Shohei's translator got caught. Without any sort of gambling regulation, this stuff doesn't get caught.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, look, you had the BC scandal back in the day, Headache Smith at Arizona State with Benny Silva. I mean, you've had guys before that, but I do agree with your point, especially when you start talking about player props.
Yeah. And the player props is where the discussion is on college athletics now, because you're not making as much money as an NBA player, and you can manipulate the player props for people on campus if it includes you in a basketball game, and then that you're able to manipulate it a little bit by, I'm only going to score under 12.
And it is tricky, Jim, because I think Lance agrees with this too. I don't think a team could fix a game anymore. I just really don't.
Too much money involved.
I think it's too much money involved. I don't think you could fix it and get away with it. But you could easily influence player props and may not even influence the outcome of the game in doing so, right?
Maybe not, no.
I mean,
that's right. Alabama could still win a basketball game if I was on Alabama's team and I scored 11 instead of 12.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, they still may win by 20 instead of 21.
Mark Sears was always at 20.5. That was his player prop all season long. Because you know why? He was scoring 20 every game.
That's right.
Right? So you had to decide, is tonight the night Mark's not going to score 20
I think there were three of those nights.
That was almost a given prop. It was almost like Alabama football, years ago when they had really dominant receivers where will Alabama, or the first quarter was Alabama minus 6.5.
Right.
It was just always an easy bet.
First quarter line.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Another thing is Cormani McClain, the 5-star recruit, number one cornerback, right now considered in the portal, at least his resume. Had some hard times at Colorado this year. He's in the portal 24/7, projecting him right now either to USC or USF.
Well, USC's got the hole that Damani Jackson left to come to Alabama. I guess Cormani McClain would just step into that spot for USC.
I mean, the guy struggled last year, and Dunaway, I know you like to, teams that recruit with teams that recruit. I mean, it's kind of weird that he's in the same boat as USF right now.
That was
Alex Golish had a really good year at 7-6, but I mean USF.
But keep in mind, he's a Florida kid. That would be the USF connection.
Yeah. The NCAA D1 Council meets today and tomorrow. They're looking at aligning the transfer world with the injunction, which will make it a rule to make it unlimited transfers. So we'll see if that happens. And they're working on a deal about NIL and how schools may be able to start paying the NIL instead of having collectives. That's two of the talking points that'll be discussed today.
Almost like they're employees at the school, right? Yeah.
Almost. All right, that's the story so far today. We'll continue to update you on our social media platforms at Next Round Live everywhere. At Next Round Live everywhere. Taylor Korn oversees that. She always encourages you to like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Even if you look at us on Twitter but you haven't followed us on Twitter, do that. Same with Instagram, TikTok, and everything. We appreciate it so much. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live now on a Wednesday. No, it's a Thursday already.
Thursday, Jimmy D.
already.
Come on.
We are live back at one of our favorite places over in Tuscaloosa at North River, where we're helping the Rise Foundation, the Rise organization over here, bring awareness to what they do. Their annual golf tournament event and auction is going on this weekend. And we were here last year. We had a chance to spend about a half hour with Nick Saban here last year. Later in the show, in that chair over by LT, Kalen DeBoer will swing by and spend about 30 minutes with us or so, like he did earlier this year in the football complex. Greg Byrne in here in this very first segment as we get going. We had a good time last night here in town, out here on the golf course yesterday, and then this morning with our friends over at the Heritage House. It's just been a good, quick trip over here to Tuscaloosa.
What did you guys get to eat this morning? Because me and Maddie, she did the avocado toast.
Yeah.
Their fresh salsa. And I had to go to the French toast. I know you did French toast.
I did French toast.
Yep. And I got bananas and strawberries on it. It was fantastic.
I couldn't finish it. You know me.
See the pictures on my social media there at Instagram and Twitter. I went with the breakfast quesadilla.
I told Andrew, and we had met Jonathan before. He stands out. He's 6'6".
He's a big dude.
But I told Andrew that I'll just let him pick. Dealer's choice. Can't go wrong.
And he brought you the French toast?
What he came with, yeah.
Yeah, first thing I went with was a waffle, and I broke the waffle iron. So we had to.
100% true. They came.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, 100%. And he was like, Jim, I am so sorry. Our waffle iron is going down. And I was like,
you should have known that.
You should have known this.
You should have known that.
That's the one thing Jim ordered.
That is unbelievable.
It's never happened. It has never happened in the entire time. They've got 3 restaurants. Never once.
Have I ever told you? Did I tell the story last year about me getting kicked out of North River?
I feel like
but I forgot the reason why.
Yeah.
No, I mean I forgot the reason why. So
You're shirtless?
No. I'll never forget this though.
Not gonna make top 10 then.
My buddy Stuart Fowler, his parents had a villa out here, and so we came out for a spring break. It was me, Stuart, Patrick Skelton, and Chris Rothoff. And we basically just wreaked havoc around the club all week.
Wreaked havoc is that's probably a great description.
Well, just walking on the golf course and going to the range, and you had to be 15 or older to be in the hot tub, and they wouldn't let us be in the hot tub. But it was.
How old were you?
We were like 13, 12, 13.
All right.
And I took,
or as LT calls it, legal drinking age.
I took the Lysol with a book of matches from the clubhouse, and I did the human blowtorch, and it set off the alarms here, the fire alarm.
Yeah.
And they ran us out.
It's amazing they ran you off.
They frown at that in the club.
Boy, his parents were pissed. They got us in the car, drove us back to Birmingham. Wasn't a word said.
I was about to say a quiet ride. Greg Byrne will sit down with us in a second. We'll talk about some major news yesterday with the D1 Council and everything else that's going on. But the 2 biggest stories here in our state yesterday involved a little basketball. You had Janai Broome making his announcement that he was staying at Auburn, and Mark Sears testing the waters of the NBA, but keeping it open to where he could come back to play for Alabama. So let's start with Sears and then go to Broome, because that is a more, I think some people misunderstand that. You see Janai's announcement there, and there's Mark's announcement there. We'll start with Mark first. Mark is going to test the NBA waters and leave open the door. You can do that in basketball, declare, and if you don't like what you're hearing, you can go back to school. If you're Nate Oats, at some point you'd like to know how quickly, we need to know something pretty quickly what we're going to do here, because we got to fill that spot. You're pretty important to the team, but if you're not going to be here, we got to fill that spot. It's a pretty responsible thing for Mark Sears. What do you think about Mark Sears?
I think the biggest fear here, and you've got tampering when these guys are fully committed to a program and they're not testing the waters, but I think it is more of an opportunity for other teams to really come after Mark Sears. Because I don't believe, like, if he gets a true evaluation, somebody might take a flyer on him late second round. But the obvious, hiccup with him is going to be his height. I mean, if he's 6 feet, I don't know if he's legit 6 feet.
Okay,
I think he is. I've stood next to him. I think he's close.
When you're saying tampering,
yeah.
What do you mean? Like other college teams trying to lure him away?
Yeah.
I don't.
See, I fear that less. Yeah.
I think it's either Alabama or the NBA.
Yeah, and anymore, you can make more now, obviously, playing at Alabama than you could in the G League or probably in Europe for Mark Sears.
Yeah,
a lot of guys may not be able to.
Now, I heard a number from Mark Sears. I thought it was a little light. Maybe that's one of the reasons he's going to test the waters. I don't know this for a fact. He seems like a guy. If you paid him $700,000 or $800,000 for an All-American. I mean, that seems like a pretty good price.
Yeah, no, I would agree completely. I think some of this is image too, don't you? Don't you think some of this is image? Like, I'm in the NBA draft, and there is obviously an image involved with that.
That's right. And if I choose to come back, I could have stayed in the NBA
That's
draft,
right.
but I
Yep.
chose to come
Yep.
back to play for you guys because I'm committed to making another run at Alabama. Yeah, it's a lot like those folks who made the announcement, that they were declaring, early for the draft before it became very popular to leave after 3 years in college football. It ended up being a sort of a sexy thing to do. I'm declaring for the NFL draft. You did that whether you're going to be drafted early or not. You were like, man, I'm going to be a 3-year guy. I'm going to be a 3-year guy. So I do think a little bit of that is a little posturing.
I think there's a better chance he doesn't get drafted. Like, I don't think he will get drafted.
I don't either. I fully expect him back at Alabama.
I do too. I think you'll see him playing in the crimson and white.
Yeah, but it's a testing thing. The other side was Janai Broome, who does show up in some mock drafts right now. But he makes the commitment. I am coming back to Auburn yesterday. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, he's a legit 6'10". He would get drafted. Now, I think it would be second round. Then again, it wouldn't be a guaranteed contract. But I think this is the right move. He's going to get plenty of NIL. He's going to come back. He's going to be a preseason All-American. And I've said this a million times. Once he develops an outside consistent shot and gets a little range and can play, the 3 and the 4 at the next level, this is a guy that could slip into the first round easily. So I think he is making the best decision for Janai Broome.
Yeah, I would agree completely. And again, I think you're going to see both these guys playing at Alabama and at Auburn this year. Obviously, you are with Broome, and we said that yesterday. We said, at least I think that's what you're going to see out of both these guys. The one thing Broome has going for him that Mark Sears does not is Broome doesn't really have to grow. Broome's just got to prove he can play at the position they want him to play. I think everybody in the NBA believes Sears could play the position they want him to play. They just don't like how tall he is playing that position, right? Yeah. And I think that's the big deal with him.
Yeah, so that's the basketball news. We're about to talk to Alabama AD Greg Byrne, who will sit down with us. A couple of great sponsors. Before you tell us about Indy, let me tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Jumpstart that weight loss in 2024 by going to this website, aplanforme.com. That gives you an opportunity to find out what Leslie and her board-certified team is all about. Planforme.com is Way to Wellness, and you'll find no contracts, no sign-up fees, and that first consultation is absolutely free. You can jump on there and see what it's all about, the eating plans or the protein bars and everything in between. You find that at Way to Wellness, planforme.com, Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
And the Indy Racing League is returning to Birmingham April 26th through the 28th. Fastest Indy cars in the world, Castro Nevis, Dixon, Newgarden, put their skills to a test with one goal in mind. That is a victory. Riley Green, country music superstar, is the Grand Marshal. He'll give the iconic Start Your Engines command. It's the Medical Properties Trust, presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst and Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now. Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne.
Yeah,
perfect timing. How are you, Greg?
I'm great.
A cool Yay Alabama hoodie on there.
Yeah, I just grabbed it out of the closet this morning. I mean, I don't have the swag like Ryan with the Masters tournament hat or anything.
Yeah. I ordered it. I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go?
No, unfortunately.
Can I ask you right now, in college athletics, do you guys write the rules in pencil?
Yeah. I think almost like in probably the plane flying around doing smoke signs, they just disappear pretty quick.
I mean, I'm just going with this D1 council yesterday. It's going to allow the schools to assist with NIL opportunities for the student athletes. Unlimited transfers looks like that's going to pass too, and that was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's start first with before we talk about everything going on with Alabama. Let's look at the big picture. Allowing schools to assist with the NIL opportunities. That seems like a good thing to me. It seems like that would be beneficial to you guys. How do you see
it? It's complicated, right? Yeah. There are some positives to it. The challenge is as soon as you bring it into your institution, you have Title IX responsibilities. Oh. And so with that, when I've talked to donors about NIL opportunities for our young people in our program, there have been good, legitimate opportunities for some of our female athletes, which is awesome. We want that. There's more for the men. And so if it's all of a sudden the school putting that together and actually brokering the deal, I think that could cause some potential legal challenges. And Lord knows we've had some. Yes. That's why we're even what was done yesterday, which is go wherever you want, when you want. listen, there are good legitimate reasons why people transfer. Okay. When I was after my sophomore year at Oregon as an undergraduate student, I transferred to Arizona State to follow Regina, who we will be married 30 years next month. Love got me,
excellent
right?
Choice.
Yeah.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
But, and so pot, meat, kettle, I've transferred. At the same time, too, part of what going to college is learning how to deal with challenge, developing resiliency, changing your roster over every single year. And you can have success with it. Look at our men's basketball team this year, right? But I do think there's value in learning how to stick through some challenging times. And I think that's not something that's being focused on right now. And more importantly than all that, last time I looked, we are the University of Alabama, and there's all the other universities too. Higher education is a part of that, and it's amazing how little education is getting talked about in recruiting, and that's not good, because the investment we make in the young people in our program, it's when you read about all the unpaid labor and all the different things that are out there, there is a huge investment we make in our young people from an educational standpoint, not to mention athletic, not to mention nutrition, medical, mental health, all these different things. But all you continue to hear is unpaid labor.
Yeah, well, it was a priority, academics for parents back in the day when recruiting. Is it still? I mean, I know for athletes, academics haven't always been a priority, and now with NIL, they want to know how much money they're going to make. But I hear these stories: it's mom, it's dad, it's the uncle. How much is my kid going to make now?
Yeah, there's some of that. I mean, and a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of families that absolutely value the education. That's wonderful. I meet with a lot of recruits. I'm going to meet with one here in about an hour, and I know education is going to be part of it, and we make sure we focus on that. For some, at least what you hear publicly right now, you're not seeing or hearing as much of that, and so NIL is a focus. I can tell you we have gotten kids to transfer to Alabama because part of what they like about what our coaches are doing is that's not the first thing we talk about. We do talk about what the University of Alabama represents, what their education is going to look like, the way they can build who they are. You heard Coach Saban talk all the time about building their brand, right? And making them better for the future. And we spend a lot of time, energy, and resources on that we're very proud of. And I will tell you, I think some kids leave here and then all of a sudden they say, oh my gosh, it was pretty good at Alabama. I had no idea. And then there's others that have transferred into Alabama who is from very prominent schools, and I'm not going to knock any schools, but who have said, man, I get treated really well here across the board. And I'm proud of that as the AD. I'm not embarrassed to say that. And so sometimes, we have done in our industry a very poor job of messaging of where we invest. I think I've said on your show before, at our place now, full ride scholarship, what we invest in you, not cutting a dollar in salaries. Okay. $195,000 a year. Those are real dollars. Wow. And we get zero credit for it. And I think what we see is, I've read some that, well, you just treat your Olympic sports like Division III sports. No, I don't want to do that. I want us to invest in these young people because they work really hard at it. But as much as people think there's unlimited money, there's not. We have to manage our budget. We make a lot of challenging financial decisions every single year to make sure we do our best to balance our budget on an annual basis.
Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne with us. This is a two-part question. I want to take you back to before the SEC tournament. Nate Oats, the school gave him basically a Final Four contract.
Mm-hmm.
As the athletic director to manage that and then to see him go to the Final Four. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, right? That you almost give him the contract before he even does it, and then he immediately does it.
Well, I certainly, nobody's ever accused me of being a prophet. But we believe in Nate. We believe in the job that he's done. The kids like playing for him. We've had a few kids go in the transfer portal in the last few days. We're anticipating that.
Right.
It's the world we're in right now. So he is the way he is developed and our program. Young men want to play for him. Kids have a real affinity for him as their coach. He's ahead of the curve offensively, and preaches defense all the time. Recruits his tail off. He and I talked twice yesterday, and it was, a lot of the conversation was about recruiting and where we are right now. So we're really proud of him. We knew he wanted to be our coach for hopefully the rest of his career, and we stepped up. but the thing I love so much about him is I said, Nate, if we're going to invest in you at this level, I want you to make that same commitment back to us.
And you've made this point on our show before, and he has done that in 2 consecutive contracts.
He has.
Yeah.
And this one even went further.
Right.
And so I was, I said, our fan base wants to know that you are just as committed to the University of Alabama as we are to you. And he's like, Nate, shoot. Yeah. So he was,
he drank some water.
He's been awesome.
Yeah. But the second part of the question is, you might've been like me. You woke up one morning and John Calipari had left Kentucky overnight. And
did he? Did that happen? I had no idea. Really? When did that happen?
As an athletic director, what is your response? Because as you said, you'd just done the contract. Nate made a commitment to Alabama, but obviously there is a massive job open.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably, Kentucky's probably one of the top 2 or 3 jobs in the country.
No doubt, yeah.
Historically, and I worked at Kentucky.
Right.
I was the head of fundraising there for, we lived there from 2002 to 2006, and they care. There is a lot of similarities between Kentucky basketball, men's basketball support, and Alabama football support, right? And the focus on the state. So, I didn't just sit there and say, oh, I guess Kentucky job's open. Nate and I talked several times, and I already knew the things that were important to him. It's not. Listen, we've been fortunate. The question I only get asked about 8,000 times a week is the arena. We've been fortunate. We've raised a lot of money for the arena. Our donors have been really good for it. That is a priority for us in what we have to do. We also are in very challenging, turbulent waters right now. NIL is a reality. We have to pay attention to that. If you really talk to most coaches, they're not going to be as concerned about the game day and what that looks like. They want it to be good. Don't get me wrong, but they're much more concerned about their classroom, which is for a basketball coach is the gym. And so we've got some things we are going to we're working on to address in a much shorter time frame, and that will benefit our men's basketball program, benefit our women's basketball program too. And so we were able to talk a little bit more about that, because during the season I didn't bother him a whole lot about that, because I want him to be focused on his team. But we had already started talking about that, and we just had a couple more conversations once the news. But he made it very clear to me he wanted to be here, and I think his actions once again back up his words.
And he had to be comfortable, I think, as well with Yay Alabama and the NIL collectives and that plan that's here. I would imagine he looked at that and said, okay, Alabama can do anything I want to do here at this basketball program. Talk a little bit about Yay Alabama and how that's working right now.
Yeah, it's evolved. I've been really we've been building the plane as we're flying it, right?
Right.
And so I think outside people will say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Listen, we're listening, but there's one of the things for us is we don't want to spend a lot of overhead. We want to do everything we can to make sure we keep the main thing there, which is the support of our student athletes. And also, the reality, it is an outside organization. I don't control Yay Alabama. I can have opinions, but I'm not sitting there, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. And so our donor base, we've dramatically added to the base number of the $18 a month. We have a student group now. We've had some folks with good, legitimate business opportunities for the young people in our program. When I listen to our radio broadcasts now, for whatever sport I'm listening to, I'm hearing our student athletes on the advertisements. Right. That's really cool. They're learning how to build their brand. We're talking about money management. We're talking about all the different things. To be honest, when I was 18, 19 years old, I didn't understand compounding interest, right? So educating on that, what it looks like. And I've told some of our kids this. I tell them the story. I was 23 years old. Regina and I were about ready to become parents for the first time to Nicholas. We had just got married. And so I was making $25,000 a year. We were eating top ramen and macaroni and cheese. Literally, we lived in Medford, Oregon, and it would get to 100 degrees every day. We had a window air conditioning in our little 100-year-old, 800 square foot home. We were not living high on the hog, but we started putting away $100 a month. And I told him, I just had a buddy of mine who got into financial planning. He showed me the charts and where it would go. And I said, and then the Roth IRAs and things like that. And I said, you get to a point where over a couple year period, I invested like $3,000, which was all the money in the world to me. And that $3,000 is worth like $45,000 now, right? Yep. So think about if you're putting $8,000 or $10,000 a month away, which some of our kids have the ability to do. Let's make good long-term financial decisions. And then all of a sudden, when you get to be old, like a couple of us here, Jim,
Thank
you and me.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't.
We made it, Lance.
Yeah. You're debatable. Yeah. Lance, I know. Are you the same age?
No, Lance is older than me.
Oh God.
Yeah,
You got something on him now, big time.
Young at heart. Young at heart, though.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I've gotten
100%.
that before, though.
You know I'm an
I
old,
appreciate
you
that.
know I'm an old soul.
Yeah. So
You barely make the medal standing age up here, by the way.
that's right. That's right. Well, and I always say to our kids, I'm 52 years old now, and I get to be around 18 to 22-year-olds every day of my life, and it's like I'm still just a 12-year-old at heart, right? But so getting the opportunities to teach them about that and seeing those types of things. Now, is everybody doing that? No, wish they were, but understanding how taxes work and all those things. So there's real value there, and Yale, Alabama is doing a good job of educating and teaching those things that are good life skills for our young people to when they're all of our ages, right?
We brought up an interesting topic last week. When can you lose the greatest football coach in the history of college football, and you still have the best combination of football, basketball coach in the greatest league in the SEC? And that's what you guys have gotten. It's really not even debatable. I do a hit on an Austin radio station every Thursday, and I was talking to those guys about it last week, and Nate Oats and Kalen DeBoer, I don't even know really what a close second right now in the SEC is.
Well,
And that's
I like your thinking.
That's a pat on your back, though. But I mean, we all debated it out loud, and
I mean, it's hard to argue against it. I can't.
And I'll give you another example. Like, we've got all kind of fan bases watching us. We didn't get any flack on that.
No, really. Most people are like, yeah, I think they're right. Yeah.
Well, it's testimony to our fan base. It's testimony to our university. Our brand is as strong as any college brand in the country. I spent a lot of time in California this year, right? I was actually on a fundraising trip before the Rose Bowl that was already planned. I was out there for the Rose Bowl, was there for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and then in Arizona a couple times as well. And you put the script A on, and it just gets, it's noticed wherever you are, and you get a lot of roll tides. And one of my favorite stories is I went to high school in Eugene, Oregon, 1,200 kids in our high school. I bet you 2 kids, me and one other, knew where Tuscaloosa, Alabama was in the 80s, right? And I had 7 of my classmates send their kids to Alabama, all the way out there, just because of this reach that we have. What we're able to do from a football, men's basketball standpoint, but across the board, the winter ratings just came out for the Learfield Cup, which is the overall performance. We're number 9 in the country. We're number 2 in the SEC behind Tennessee. And, we have if we can have success in the spring and our spring sports as well, just stretches our story of who we are, what Tuscaloosa is, what our university is, and what a special place this is. And we're fortunate that we have, if I was at a lot of schools and was calling Kalen DeBoer, he probably would have lost my number pretty quickly, right? But it was Alabama, and Coach Saban, what he represents, and Miss Terry, be a shame if we didn't take advantage of that. But that's why going forward, even back to what Jim was asking about, we got to, as we're navigating these waters, and I think we're a few years away from having a new model in college sports. I really do. We need to bridge that gap from a Yale, Alabama standpoint. And so that's why when we've been out and about saying, hey, if you can do $18 a month, help us bridge this gap as we're navigating these waters to make sure we can still stay as one of the schools in the country that have the best combination of coaches, because it's such a special place.
When you were an undergrad in Tempe, were you out there that the year Bruce Snyder and Jake Plummer went undefeated and went to the Fiesta Bowl?
I think I just graduated.
But you were for the Fiesta Bowl, right?
I was an intern, and they went to the Rose Bowl. They beat Ohio State.
Yep.
But I was an intern, I think, at the Fiesta Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken. And but not trying to be negative, but you go to some of these big city markets, right? And it'll be a college football Saturday, and you'll be 3 blocks from the stadium. You don't even know a game's going on.
That's right.
That's what separates us here. I mean, we had 72,000 people show up for practice.
Yeah.
that is awesome. And but we can't take that for granted either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
hey, Kalen's about to go on a tour, a couple of stops, Orange Beach, Birmingham, and Huntsville. He's going to get a chance to meet fans. When they get to know him, what's the one takeaway when you first met him, personality-wise? Because we've had a chance to talk to him too. Blows me away the kind of person he is. When you first met him, what did you think?
Well, I had never met him before. When Coach Saban retired on Wednesday, Regina and I were in a hotel room meeting he and his wife Nicole on the next morning on Thursday in Seattle. And I had been told he was humble. I'd watched 100 hours of YouTube videos on him, practice, interviews, everything I could. And he came across that way in all those interviews. I mean, he's really smart. He genuinely cares about his kids, just like Coach Saban did and does. And he is a really good football mind. I talked to Hare about this publicly. One of the things that really got him on my radar was when Jeff Tedford, who's the head football coach now at Fresno, who was the head coach at Cal and had as good a Cal teams as they've had in the last 100 years almost.
Would have been in a college football playoff with Aaron Rodgers.
100%. Yeah. And Tedford found Aaron Rodgers at some small junior college in California that nobody was recruiting, right?
Chino, I think.
It may have been Chino. Yeah. And so the fact that Jeff Tedford hired Kalen DeBoer as his offensive coordinator, I'm like, dang, Jeff Tedford's obviously I've been around Nick Saban, so right here, right?
There's a gap.
Yeah, but Jeff Tedford's one of the best football coaches I've ever been around, and so Tedford and I actually, there were two conversations I had that they didn't know I was purposely doing this in the last couple of years. I talked to Tedford one time. We talk every couple of years or so, and so I was like, hey, we talk about all sorts of things. Hey, tell me about this Kalen DeBoer guy, and he just couldn't say enough good things. And then Chris Peterson, who I met actually the same time I met Jeff Tedford at Oregon in the 90s. Pete and I were talking, and DeBoer was now at Washington at this point. And Chris and I were talking. I said, hey, tell me about Kalen DeBoer. And he just went on and on and on, not only about a football coach, but also the kind of human being he is. And we've seen nothing but, I mean, walking off the field the other day after A-Day, and all the fans are waiting there in the tunnel to get the kids to throw gloves and all those different things, and sweatbands. And he's taking people's phones
I saw that.
and doing the selfie. Yeah. And I've taken like 2 selfies in my life. And here he is doing that. And I just thought, that's really cool. So he's embraced it. He went to Walgreens one day to get a prescription filled and realized that may be a little more challenging going forward. But he's just a humble. And I told this to Nate. I've said this to Kalen. I've said this to our different coaches. Part of what attracted me to you is, a lot of different things. Okay. So this isn't the only thing, but it was your humility. And the leaders that I admire the most, that I enjoy being led by as I was growing up and continue to this day. Dr. Bell is a very humble leader. Is that they have a level of humility about them in their approach, and understand that we're at the end of the day, we're serving the University of Alabama. We're serving our student athletes. We're serving our fans. And if you don't lose track of that. And Coach Saban never did, and I really believe that Coach DeBoer is wired the same way.
Well, we appreciate the time as always. I know you got to get out and see some people on the course, and Greg now just brings up the arena preemptively. We don't even have to ask about it anymore. So thank you for doing that.
We know
we don't have to waste a question.
Pocatello, Idaho.
Pocatello. Yeah, the Harvard of Idaho.
I mean, so you were born there. You go to Eugene, but how long did you spend in Idaho, and what is there to do there besides fly fishing?
There is good fly fishing. My dad was is an avid fly fisherman, and then it's about an hour from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So it's all the outdoor activities that you have.
Did you ever see a bear in the wild?
In Pocatello, well, we moved from there in '76, so I was pretty young. But I have in Alaska, but I never, and I have in North Carolina, but I never have in Idaho. But they're there. I wouldn't go look for them, but it's a beautiful area. You're about 2 hours from Salt Lake, but yeah, Pocatello, it's where Idaho State University is. So that's why I say the Harvard of Idaho.
Okay.
That's what my mom and dad say that about their alma mater.
I'm from University of Montevallo. I called it the Ivy League of the South.
That's right. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, don't check the academic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, good to see you.
That's Greg Byrne, Alabama Athletic Director, with us on the in-person Johnston RV hotline. Tell us about JohnstonRVCenter.com.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. And they've repriced every single thing on the lot, and they are so confident that the pricing is the best in the nation. They will beat any price nationwide. That is their guarantee. Any price nationwide, you bring them that on a comparable RV, and they'll beat it. Also, RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a warranty on anything new and qualified used. It is a lifetime warranty you can get right there at Johnston RV Center. Go see it for yourself. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
And Michelson Laser Vision, LT.
Yeah, pre-inflation pricing right now. Call 205-969-8100. As for Amy, tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with that pre-inflation pricing. Everything going up in price, not LASIK, from our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Dr. Jen Michelson, Dr. Mark Michelson, they have held that pricing steady the last couple of years. Call 205-969-8100 for more information. MichelsonLaserVision.com.
I'll ask Lunsford the same thing I did yesterday at 9:29. Commercial free today, Lunsford? Can we go without commercial breaks?
I can see him just shaking his head. I thought, like I said, nope, Jim.
He's a beautiful mind. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll tell you more about the Rise Center that's going on here. You can donate throughout the day here and anytime throughout the year. risecenter.ua.edu. risecenter.ua.edu. There's a donate button there. It's as easy as you can do it. risecenter.ua.edu. The golf tournament's about to tee off behind us. We're at North River in Tuscaloosa. We're live. Kalen DeBoer joins us at 11:30. When we come back, we talk about some other things going on in the college football world. This is the next round, being brought to you today in part by our friends at NASCAR and Talladega. It is race week. We're over there tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. You can still get tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or go to 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Call them up there. Get your tickets, upgrade your tickets to the garage area. Some suites available for you there, and still some tickets to the big Geico 500 on Sunday. Walker Hayes in concert Saturday night, and a lot more. It's all right there at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
NASCAR is returning to Talladega Super Speedway for the 2024 Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th through Sunday, April 21. Guarantee your 2024 Geico 500 weekend experience today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, presented by Coolray. It is the Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st. Guarantee your spot now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
The region's tradition returns to Greystone, May 8th through 12th. A decorated field of players featuring some of golf's greatest names, including Ernie Els, Jim Furyk, Padraig Harrington, and defending champion Steve Stricker.
Oh my goodness!
All fighting for another shot at history. The legends play here. The region's tradition at Greystone. Get your tickets today.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst, at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
Welcome back to Tuscaloosa again. That number to donate to Rise Center. Not number. That's the 1970 telethon in me.
Let's ring those phones, everybody.
Let's light up the phone tree right now. No, the website to donate anytime throughout the year, risecenter.ua.edu, risecenter.ua.edu. Brownie and I had the pleasure of playing a little golf yesterday afternoon out here. And really an enjoyable round right after an afternoon rain shower. Beautiful course, and everyone's out enjoying it again, this annual event. And you can also go to risecenter.ua.edu to get other events that happen throughout the year, including this tournament next year. If you want to be a part of this or sponsor a hole or anything like that. Steve Sarkisian and Chris Lowe, a story on ESPN.com. Sark says, I thought about the Alabama job for about 60 seconds, but I would be lying if I didn't think about it when it came open. And then he said, I'm building something here. And this is the quote I want to ask you about.
All right.
In the Chris Lowe story today, ESPN.com, Sark says, I really feel like we're on the cusp of a run that will be epic. I really feel like we're on the cusp of a run that will be epic.
You know, we have felt that way, maybe not epic, but we have felt that way how many times about Texas football, guys?
I don't know if we've ever felt that way.
Not epic, but how many times have we felt like, this Texas could be turning the corner? It's a running joke. Texas is back, right?
Right.
Who was the quarterback that said at that time after that game? It was
Young.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Anyway,
it wasn't McCoy.
No, it was not Colt McCoy, but it's irrelevant. Well, how many times have we heard
at the Sugar Bowl after the beat Georgia?
Yep. How many times have we heard Texas is back?
That was Sam
Ehlinger. All right, thank you. How many times have we heard that? We've heard it all the time. Now, epic run, I don't know that has ever been thrown in there, but I mean, my point is, Jim, we have waited a long time for this program to be quote unquote back.
What is epic run, though? Okay, now,
well, can I point out something before you go?
Alabama's a historic run.
Yeah.
What Nick Saban just done.
Right.
Nobody's ever done it like that. What's an epic run?
To me, epic's more than historic.
Oh, really?
Okay,
so.
but all right.
I think epic turns into historic.
Yeah, all right, I don't want to.
You got to go do epic before you get to
I don't want to play semantics. If I told you that Sark in the next decade wins 3 national championships,
that's an epic run.
I think the world has a better chance of ending.
Yeah, but if he wins 3 and 10, that's an epic run.
Can I just remind
Bear Bryant in the 60s and in the 70s, those were epic runs. And when you put it all together, it was historic, obviously, because he did it in 2 different decades. But what Pete Carroll did early in the 2000s, thought that was an epic run for a brief period of time, but it was an epic run.
But only got 2 national championships, and the talent they had.
We say only 2 because we were right here in Tuscaloosa. It looked so easy.
But they lost games against Stanford, where they would have played for a national championship, against Oregon State. So really, he should have had 4 or 5 during that run. With all that said, I just want to throw out the most obvious thing about this.
Please do.
Steve Sarkisian, as a head coach, has won 10 games one time.
I know.
Yeah, and now he's talking about an epic run.
Well, he's on the cusp of it. So that 10-win season last year, making the playoffs, got him on the cusp of it.
Okay, and let me say this. His team was much more talented than that Washington team.
It really was.
I don't know. I think I gave you what I would if in a decade we look back on this quote, and they've been a consistent factor in the Southeastern Conference and the college football playoff, and they've won 3 national championships. I'll say, Sark got that right. Now, you think the world will be over, so I'll never have to pay this off. But, I mean, wouldn't you say Sark got that right if all those things happen?
I think if Sark just wins a national championship and has them consistently in the college football playoff, I'm not going to call that epic, but I think that if you're a Texas fan, you'll take that.
Yeah.
I mean, you only got 1 national championship out of Mac Brown. He played for 2. I don't know. I just want to see it. I think Texas is going to be a player. I'll be surprised if they're not in the 12 team this year.
Right.
Do you agree what I said earlier this week that it has timed out perfectly for Texas as they enter the SEC? Yeah. If they'd entered the SEC at any point before last year, the 10 years before 2022,
I don't think they get in last year.
They would have been overwhelmed because their talent level did not match up to the SEC.
Yeah.
Last year was a good roster. It is fit to be a good roster this year. They'll fit okay in the SEC.
But I think they would have lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game.
I think they would have too.
Yeah, so I don't think they get in. So I think what your comments were dead on.
Yeah.
Because I think this is going to be a Texas team that probably loses 2 games every year, but they get in a 12-team playoff.
Well, I mean, it is a different world in a 12-team playoff. It's such a hungry fan base. That if he wins a national championship, he is going to be a statue out there. Just, I mean, they're starving. I mean,
Yeah, so
they've
Mac won one. Darryl Royal.
I mean, that's it. They won one in my lifetime, I think.
Yeah, the other one was 1970, I think.
Yeah, I'm 48 now. 48. I didn't know I was so close in age to Greg Byrne, by the way. I know he's only 52. I'm 48. They've won one national championship in my entire life.
Yeah, and that's unacceptable.
I agree completely. It's unacceptable. That's
Because,
why.
I mean, how long did we talk about best jobs in college football? And Texas was
It
always in
always,
the top
it
three.
always comes up.
And our friend Andy Kennedy said the other day there's 3 schools that should always be on top.
Yep.
I think it was Texas, USC, and Florida.
Maybe those are the ones. I can't remember. Texas was definitely one of them, though.
Yeah.
I do know that.
They definitely should. Okay, we're here at North River. The Rise golf tournament going on behind us for that great organization. We've all seen Rise work for, for me, I've seen it work for decades here in Tuscaloosa, all the way back, even before Gene Stallings really got it going early on in his tenure here in Tuscaloosa. It's been doing great work here. You can find out more, risecenter.ua.edu there. Big news possibly for Auburn. Big visitor coming to town football-wise this weekend. After we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, one of those is Redmond Vodka.
8 times distilled, gluten-free, locally owned and operated product. Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind it. Ask for it by name if you're in a local bar or restaurant. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. Again, gluten-free, 8 times distilled, available at your local package stores, including Beverage Place, Pink Package. Stop in, pick up a bottle today of Redmond Vodka.
Yeah, and also our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. Were you hitting me a bug off of me?
No, I was hitting you. I don't think you've seen the
breaking news.
Yeah, no. The message from Lunsford.
Yeah,
don't break till he tells you.
Don't
so
break.
You're getting your wish.
You're getting your wish. Yeah.
Oh, the computer broke like the wall flyer.
It did, but now he tells me we're good to go. So that was an irrelevant message I just passed on to you. UCA.
Well, yeah, exactly. Brownie, Urology Centers of Alabama. Stay on top of your health, man. It's something you do as you get a little bit older. Prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com. 16 locations, 35 urologists. Check them out online, urologycentersalabama.com. Keandre Lambert-Smith, the wide receiver of Penn State, right now, according to reports, only visiting 2 schools. Next weekend, it's going to be Texas A&M. This weekend, it's Auburn.
I mean, it would be interesting. Look, it looks like right now Cam Coleman, though you say maybe not, but it looks like Cam Coleman is going to be your lead receiver this year.
I mean, everybody says he's the most talented kid on the maybe even the entire roster.
But you have said not so fast, my friend, in Lee Corso language. You're not just like, hey, he's definitely going to lead Auburn in receiving.
I mean, I would lean that way.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be more playmakers.
Yeah. Where would this one factor in, do you think?
It'd be a really good number 2 on the other side of Cam.
Yeah, but the kid from Georgia State.
That's who Lance really likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
really good number 3.
I mean, all of a sudden now, what has been a position of need for Auburn for several years, you would have a little bit of depth there, a little quality depth, not just depth, but quality depth.
It's interesting he's visiting both because really, Connor Wegman, Peyton Thorne, experienced quarterbacks, but I don't know how much better they are than Drew Aller. Maybe it's just maybe it has nothing to do with the quarterback. It's just the scenery. Just wants to get out of that program. Who knows what the reasoning is? But it is interesting. Those are the 2 programs he is.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know about Aller, man. I thought Dunaway had one of the greatest headlines of our Friday segment with Drew Aller. What was it? Pitt State praised Aller. Yeah, so good. I don't know about him though. I really, when I first saw him, I thought this guy here's the quarterback.
Well, that's what everybody said too.
I know, and you were like, boy, how is Sean Clifford still starting? And now as you look back, you're like, oh, I kind of see how Sean Clifford was still starting. He was the better quarterback. That's how he was still starting. So I don't know that Aller is that big of an upgrade from Sean Clifford.
Speaking of that, real quick, Penn State, because you bring up perfect time for Texas to enter the SEC. When do we get to a point if Penn State can't make a 12-team playoff with the money that James Franklin is making? I mean, when does that become a problem if you're a Penn State fan?
I don't know. But I don't know what the buyout is, number one.
Who else do you get?
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's one of those where Franklin is probably.
Yeah, but if I'm a Penn State fan, I believe my program is better than that.
I agree with you, I agree with you, but you roll the dice of I could always get a worse coach.
He's 10-2, and the only people he lost to were Michigan and Ohio
Okay,
State, right?
let's do that.
No, I get that, but
give me a guy that you absolutely know is a better coach than James Franklin. Like if Penn State fired him today.
Lance Leipold.
Yeah, could you get him?
Oh, you could get him. He's
a
Kansas coach. I mean, I think he is, Lance, but a lot of times you see these guys that find a way to win at a place like Kansas, and you give them a big job, they can't do it.
Yeah, I'll stay in state. I think Chris Kleiman's a better coach.
I don't disagree with you. All right, so it's 2.
Could you get him?
I think you probably could. I mean, K-State.
Leipold had some options, and he chose Kansas.
He did, but now, again, I think
but what were those options? I don't even remember.
Michigan State was one.
Penn State's better.
Obviously. Michigan State had unbelievable NIL money.
Yeah. I mean, I think anymore, though, we've got to remember with guys like Kleiman and Leipold, they're not in the Power 2. I mean, that's going to draw a lot of these coaches, the resources.
Yeah, and even Michigan State with Jonathan Smith now. Jonathan Smith would be a major upgrade.
I mean, I think he's a better coach.
Kyle Whittingham's a better coach.
Major.
62 and
not
not leaving Utah. He will not coach.
I'm just saying, I don't disagree you're naming better coaches, but convincing them to go take it and not parlay it into another job. Now you fired the guy. You don't always get a better coach. I mean,
let me ask you this.
You know what James Franklin is?
If Eli Drinkwitz won 10 games again this year,
I don't think he's a better coach than James Franklin.
I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying what about Lane Kiffin? If Lane Kiffin wins 10 or 11 games.
I just can't imagine him at Penn State. That is such
an
odd fit.
But you kill Lane Kiffin for
I know.
the same thing that we killed James Franklin for. They're sort of the same. He's sort of Big Ten Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, no,
and Lane Kiffin is SEC James Franklin.
I just wonder if would Lane Kiffin even leave Ole Miss for Penn State? That sounds like a ridiculous.
No, I don't know that he would.
But I don't think he would.
Recruiting footprint.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that statement 20 years ago?
No, it didn't exist 20 years ago. Yeah.
Still another segment in this hour here to tell you about as we got some basketball news still in this segment I want to pass along to you. But first, LT, tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And Regions Tradition is coming back to Greystone. That tournament coming up in May. Do you have the dates on that top of your head? It's May 8th through the 12th.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, it's coming up. Regionstradition.com. Regionstradition.com. Ernie Els is coming back. All the great pros, including Steve Stricker, as he comes back and tries to defend his title yet again at Greystone. It's the Regions Tradition, regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com. You can check that out there. Get your tickets now. And don't forget the Drummond Company Pro-Am on Wednesday out at Greystone, where you get a ton of superstar coaches out there. That includes, of course, Kalen DeBoer, who'll be with us later. Nick Saban will be there. Hugh Freeze will be there. Our buddy Charles Barkley will be back. Nate Oats will be out swinging the sticks. May 8th through the 12th. It's the Regions Tradition, regionstradition.com. Paradise Jam, they announced the field for that. Illinois State, George Washington, Liberty, McNeese. But the two they would expect to play for the championship, Kansas State and UAB in the Paradise Jam.
Wow.
Andy's built
what he's doing with the portal right now.
Yeah. And he's not losing people.
Keeping his guys.
Yeah.
Yax is back, and they brought in some talent to go there. And I got a list when we come back of some available players if you are still looking to fill the holes up in your roster that are these are all top 11 guys still available out there in the portal. And there's some needs that would fit Auburn and Alabama in basketball. And I'll let you know where people like Trey Donaldson, Holloway, Rylan Griffin ranked in this 100 portal basketball rankings. It may surprise you a little bit on how high or low some of those guys are. That's coming up on the show as we broadcast live, risecenter.ua.edu to make a donation to help the Rise Center, one of our charities that we're proud to be a part of out here. And, a few years ago, it was LT's hair that was charitable. And now
that's incredible.
We have given, and it has received. Dr. B made it happen.
Yeah, Dr. Beckenstein, the guy that when I asked around, everybody said when I was thinning out, you need to go see Dr. B. Went to see Dr. B. Since that first consultation, my hair has more than doubled in thickness. All I am doing is the 3 treatments on the couch, 30 minutes each time, non-invasive, watch TV when I'm doing it, and the hair has more than doubled in thickness. T3hair.net. That's T3hair.net. Schedule the consultation today. Again, Dr. B changing my hair. He can do the same for you.
Follow on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, you. Days warming up. Looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. We got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Back with you at beautiful North River in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, on a sunny blue, a few kiss of clouds above us here. Some a little thicker on the horizon as the golf tournament is underway, benefiting the RISE program, risecenter.ua.edu. Hit the donate button anytime throughout the year. If you have a little extra and want to help a great cause, learn more about RISE Center at risecenter.ua.edu. Basketball, can I just ask you, out of 100 people, 100 players in the portal, where do you think Rylan Griffin ranked?
Try to remember other big names in the portal.
Is this currently in, or this is anybody that's been in and has come out?
Well, let me give you those that are available that are still in the top 11.
All right.
You ready?
All right.
Number one on the list and still out there. By the way, imagine him in an Auburn or an Alabama uniform. FAU Final Four star Janelle Davis still out there.
That guy still got eligibility.
Yeah.
One more year.
He averaged over 20 this year for the Owls.
Wisconsin.
How big is he?
6'4".
Okay.
Wisconsin forward A.J. Storr is out there.
A.J. Storr is really good.
Can score and can play defense.
Both of those guys obviously in front of Rylan Griffin.
Utah State, this is the top 11 that are not committed anywhere yet. Rylan is obviously after that. Utah State, Great Ozabor. He's a big center for Utah State, listed as the third best available guy still out there. Oklahoma State point guard Javon Small out there. We talked about Armour Uri from Rutgers yesterday, the big center. He's a top 6 guy, 5th best available guy out there. Mark Mitchell, forward from Duke, he's still out there. Kanan Carlisle, shooting guard from Stanford, is still out there. And Tennessee's Jonas Adu is 11th in the ranking, but he's one of the top 10 available guys still out there.
Do they consider, like Jeremy Roach has got another year, and he's kind of doing the Mark Sears? So are Mark Sears and Jeremy Roach guys that aren't? Okay.
They're not.
I would think Ryland's got to be top 15 just for the simple fact that he started 33 games.
I was going to say top 15, top 20. I mean, the guy averages almost 40% from beyond the arc, a 30-some-odd game starter on a Final Four team.
27.
Wow.
27.
That's a pretty good portal if he's 27.
I find it hard to believe there's 26 guys better than him.
What is going to be surprising to some people, but not to others, Aiden Holloway, 28. 27, 28.
You know, I was
different
thinking
style of player.
Two different players this past
when you
season,
brought this
sure.
up, I was thinking Aiden Holloway, like if you would have had this last year just out of high school, where would he be on this list?
Oh, yeah.
Would he be top 10?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if he had said, I've committed to Auburn, but I'm going to hit the portal. I mean, if that were a thing, he would definitely be
Yeah, I
top
think
10.
his stock's about as low as it can go right now.
When Holloway committed, there was discussion about him being the greatest commitment in Auburn history, or at least under Bruce Pearl.
But you just said you think his stock is as low as it can go. What you mean is it's only up from here, right?
Yeah, like I think somebody might be able to get a steal with him.
Yeah.
I thought Trey Donaldson played better than him this year.
I agree.
Trey Donaldson is 64th in the portal right now.
Yeah, I think Donaldson did play better. I thought the Auburn staff, when Donaldson hit the portal and Holloway did not initially, that showed you Auburn liked the upside of Holloway more.
Well, you don't see this a lot. Most mid-major guys go up, but could you see Trey Donaldson maybe go back to like a what's a good example? An Indiana State.
Yeah.
Yep. And then turn around and play at Kansas.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's the way it works now.
Nick Pringle, by the way, makes the top 100. He's 93. No Sam Walton.
He should. I mean, look, that guy, you know,
plays hard.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be a starter. I mean, I think he started by default for Alabama because of the size, but he's definitely a guy that can contribute to a lot of different things. You know, the thing with Nick Pringle, you just wonder if he never was in the doghouse, you know, how much better would he have been?
Right. If he had not missed a couple games, if he didn't have to fly to Spokane with little T, how would he be viewed differently?
Yeah, battled a deep bruise in his
I
foot for a
will
lot
say,
of the season.
He's got awful hands. I mean, Nick Pringle played hard, but boy, when you dumped it to him in the post, half the time it was fumbled.
JJ Pegues, who's going to Auburn, 48th in the rankings. So behind Aiden, ahead of Trey. Chris Youngblood, who's coming to Alabama, 55th in the portal, according to 24/7. Houston Millette from Pepperdine, 82nd.
Wow.
In the portal, but it is ranked right there. Just some basketball news there as we're on the day after Janai Broom saying he's coming back to Auburn, and Mark Sears testing the NBA waters, but leaving the door open for him to return to Alabama. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Our friends at Woodhouse, man.
Yeah, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, nails, waxing, body massages. They've got it all. Just a beautiful location at the Summit Shopping Centers. Stop in, see Stuart and those the great guys there. If you're looking to play golf this weekend, you want to send the girlfriend or wife, you send them to the Woodhouse Day Spa. They're going to absolutely love the experience. Again, stop in and tell the guys up there the next round sent you.
And, of course, race weekend kicks off again tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll all be out at different times with EG and Little T and the whole crew with our friends at Johnson RV, but also the Talladega Super Speedway folks. We appreciate them being partnered up with us all year long. You can still get tickets to be part of the fun this weekend. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. I will tell you that the Walker Hayes concert will be fun on Saturday night. We plan to hang around and listen to some of that. The fun on the infield is always enjoyable. And don't forget to try to upgrade your tickets as well. Garage experience and everything else. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets, or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. All right. There is one baseball thing I want to get out for you here. And Rockstar, it's cut number 3. My Tampa Bay Rays, I don't talk about them a lot. Because
rightfully so. They don't even care about him in Tampa. I can't imagine how many people care here.
I just don't, I don't self-serve a lot.
Yeah.
But I am going to bring them up when they're funny. Yesterday, Pete Fairbanks, who's always an interesting-looking dude, he's a tall closer, relief pitcher, blew a lead, and the Angels beat the Tampa Bay Rays. And it made for cut 3, Rockstar, this iconic post-game soundbite. I love it when players self-evaluate themselves. Here is Pete Fairbanks after the loss yesterday on the next round.
matter of command, location, selection, anything specific?
No, I thought it generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck. So, we're going to try and rectify that. But for right now, I'm going to be pretty pissed about it.
It was not a specific suck. Just
that guy looks like what was the marina in Caddyshack? Looks like he'd be hanging out with Spalding.
Yeah. Find baby Ruth at the pool.
There'd be people making bets in the bullpen. Is he going to eat it? Is he going to eat it? Is he going to eat it?
I mean, that is a pretty strong self-evaluation there.
Yeah. Was it your command? Was it your location? Was it the speed?
Pretty much everything.
It reminds you of
all-encompassing.
Was it John McKay, the head coach, when he was asked about his team's execution?
Yeah, I'm in favor of it. Yeah,
I'm in favor of it. All right, last night we watched over at a local restaurant the end of the 76ers and Heat's game. 76ers win at 105-104.
Dangerous team, man.
Chicago eliminated Atlanta, so Chicago-Miami play for that final spot in that play-in game as we get closer to starting the main part of the NBA playoffs. Hour 1 is down. Hour 2 coming up here from North River, and in Hour 3 we'll be joined by Kalen DeBoer for about 30 minutes here on the Sun Deck at North River. The show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Gutter Cap LT.
205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it right now. 45% off the retail price. Chris Stewart will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate. The last thing you want to do is get the dangerous ladder out. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Call Chris Stewart today for that absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
And our friends at the University of Montevallo, I'll tell you, we'll do Rockstars 4 Downs in the next segment part of that. But at Montevallo, you can worry about the next 4 years for your son or daughter's life. When it's off to college they go, junior or senior year, put Montevallo on the to-do list to tour and take a look at what they offer. It is a beautiful campus with great things, including a nursing school coming in the near future. Wonderful athletics, 23 NCAA Division II fully funded scholarship sports, that beautiful theater department, and a lot more. Montevallo.edu, Montevallo.edu. Back in a moment in Tuscaloosa.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by Amherst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
NASCAR is returning to Talladega Super Speedway for the 2024 Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th through Sunday, April 21. Guarantee your 2024 Geico 500 weekend experience today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, presented by Coolray. It is the Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st. Guarantee your spot now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Birmingham, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions return to Protective Stadium on Saturday, April 20th as they take on the DC Defenders for Throwback Night. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. There's something for fans of all ages. Tickets start at just $22. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 4 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Stallions. Let's pack protective, Birmingham. Get tickets at theufl.com.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. And how about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back live in Tuscaloosa, Jim Dunaway, Ryan Brown, Lance Taylor, Rockstar, Forrester, Tyler, Lunsford, Taylor Corn, E.G., Reed and Kelsey, Tim Melton, all hanging back in our studio and holding down the fort there. Meltdown coming up later today, live at 2, as always, 2 o'clock Central Time. And a new Uncorked out last night. I
got feedback.
We were at the Heritage House for breakfast this morning, and one guy goes,
"Yeah, Jonathan,
I had to click in on Uncorked because Little T had a glass of wine and it didn't look like her first one."
I said, well, what? I said, well, I got to go back and watch this. What was the subject matter? He goes, well, it was Little T laying in her bed drinking wine. And I was like, okay, I'll go watch it.
Well, I told him the story. The first week she started working for us was that Saturday was the first time I really hung out with her when she put together the Beer Olympics, and watching her come in and with all of this energy and just pounding beer in the heavy sun.
Yeah.
And then we went out that night and drank margaritas at the Old Superior Grill. Then we went and she karaoke'd at Stars. And then we came back to my house, and there was a group of like 6 or 7 of us. But my point is, I told him, I was like, she weighs maybe 82 pounds.
Yep.
And she has got a hollow leg.
Can I tell the story? We were told at breakfast that our show may have been responsible for a marriage.
No, we've done that many times.
Have we? You think we've been responsible for marriage?
Oh yeah, we've had people said they met through us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Including at Champions.
Yep. So at Heritage House, we were told he grew up in Mobile, loved our show, watched it or listened to it. This is back in the radio days. Listened to it on streaming. Loved the way we did a show, and said, "I want to do for a living what those guys do." So he started looking where is a good broadcast school, and he picked Alabama. So he came to Alabama and met his wife at the University of Alabama, and said without going into broadcasting, I would never have gone to Alabama.
I guarantee you we've got a lot of stories like this, whether we sent somebody to a sponsor and they met their wife there. We probably have sent somebody to a sponsor and they met their mistress there.
Wow.
So we're probably responsible for divorces as well.
That is true. You can't bat 1,000, can you?
There's always a right turn on this NASCAR.
There's the yin and the yang to this world we live in.
It's always a road course for you. It's not a perfect circle. Speaking of perfect circles, it's really a tri-oval. We're back at Talladega tomorrow. No need to roll the video for us. So I'll just tell everybody, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. You ask, where are we going to be? We're going to be in the infield at a Johnson RV Center.com RV that'll be there. So we'll be near the hospital, near the NASCAR drivers, right there in the infield. You'll be able to see us. And we'll find you throughout the weekend, because EG, Little T, me, and everyone else will be out with our cameras just documenting people watching. If you've never been to Talladega, get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. And this hour of the show being brought to you as well by our friends at Oats. LT, I wonder what the question was last night.
Rockstar?
Ooh, the question was, true or false, Coca-Cola was America's first soft drink?
It is America's #1 soft drink. I'm going to say it was not.
Yeah, I think Dr. Pepper was.
I think Dr. Pepper beat it to market.
I don't think it was Dr. Pepper to market. I'm going to go
Sundrop
off the board.
Fresca.
Shasta.
No,
I'm going to go RC, Royal Crown.
I feel pretty good. Soft drinks for 500. I think it's Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Rocky?
It was Dr. Pepper. False. It was Dr. Pepper.
There you go.
See,
Things you learn, little
Yep.
factoids, Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every single Wednesday night. That's at the original location in Crestline. Of course, the newest location in Edgewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff, including Rodney Davis, been cooking up the great food for 33 years, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, my personal favorite, that Diablo sandwich. Stop in and see that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
My maternal grandmother drank, my paternal grandmother drank Royal Crown. My dad's mom.
Oh, we used to get it all the time.
That's all they had at the house was RC. I had not thought of RC in a very long time. Too.
Yeah.
Said that.
It was a different taste.
It was. I did not like it. I did not like it.
Love it.
When I was going through dry February, and I got congratulated from Andrew at Heritage House this morning. He said he tried it, didn't work.
Okay.
But when I was going through it, I got this drink at a package store in Nolensville, Tennessee, and it was called Can Trip. And it's a THC drink, but it tasted like RC Cola.
Did it?
But it had 10 milligrams THC in it.
And then sometimes
Is that skirting dry February?
No, I mean
it's another right turn.
You're
not a perfect.
I didn't have any alcohol. I had none.
And then sometimes at Bible school, everybody would donate the drinks for Bible school. Somebody would donate like Dr. Check.
Oh yeah. That always would happen.
Yeah.
That always would happen.
You're like, come on, spend 50 more cents.
What are we saving here?
What is a 2 liter of Dr. Jack? Like
I don't know.
60 cents?
I don't know.
Well, that's how we ended up with RC. Was we we were a little short in the funds and couldn't get the Coca-Cola Classic.
That's why you defended Kraft single so hard the other day.
Oh yeah, it's the cheese I grew up on. LT,
the cheese of my youth.
It's cheese that's this color.
See, I would have thought it was a government block of cheese.
No, I had that too. I had
White
that too.
package, black lettering, cheese.
Greg Byrne has been with us already. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Apple, and always on our YouTube channel. Little T is chopping up some of the good stuff and sending it out on all of our social media platforms at Next Round Live. That's where you get the Uncorked episode that we were talking about at Next Round Live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere in between. Like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. All right. You said best college football men's basketball program to Greg Byrne. If Alabama is that best combination right now in the SEC, who is second?
Who is
You
second?
talking about it just overall in college sports?
No, in the SEC, football and basketball combos. If Alabama is one, who is second?
I will go with, off the top of my head, Auburn. Bruce Pearl has been to a Final Four. I don't have his resume in front of me. I know an Elite Eight at I am going to get a bug off of you now. By the way, I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's now on the back of your chair.
I know.
What is that? I don't know about
Lotus.
So, Lance, I know Elite Eight at Tennessee. I think he had another Sweet 16 at Tennessee. The positive at Auburn is Final Four. The negative is not advanced outside the round of 32, but has Auburn in places Auburn basketball has never been. So I do think you have to look at it in those terms. And then Hugh Freeze, I mean, he's been a good coach. He's coached some New Year's Six bowls. He's never won a conference championship. But I don't know who else I can pair up with these guys.
I would have gone Kentucky with Calipari and Stoops.
But I can't do it with Mark Pope.
I think I would go Auburn. I think the only other team that would be in the conversation
would be Ole Miss.
Well, I'll say LSU, but it's really heavy towards Brian Kelly's accomplishment at LSU. Matt McMahon has just not done a whole lot.
Well, and I think Georgia, Mike White's good enough because Kirby is so good.
Kirby weighs it down so much.
I think I would go, actually, and I hate to say this, I think I'd go Ole Miss number 2 in front of Auburn. I think I'd go
played
Auburn
for a
3.
national championship, it's pretty good.
But
like, I feel like Beard will have a Sweet 16 team this year. I know that sounds crazy. Didn't make the tournament, and I think Lane Kiffin's got a really good shot at getting a college football.
But here's the complicated thing with Lane Kiffin: the best thing Lane Kiffin has done as a coach is what?
Win 10 games twice.
Okay.
Beat LSU last year, maybe.
I mean, those are pretty low bars. You'll give me right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't like us grading Dan Mullen on a curve.
No.
Okay, but go across the land now. The SEC basketball collection of coaches,
it's pretty good,
really good, probably more impressive because you got so many Final Fours.
Yep.
Seven have got Final Fours.
Yep, but it's hard to match up, and it not be so. I mean, honestly, it's probably Georgia just because Kirby's won 2 national championships.
Okay,
but it is badly imbalanced. I mean, Mike White, what has he done as a coach?
Okay, but Kirby is definitely the best coach in all of college football.
Yep.
But you saw that list the other day. Kalen DeBoer was number 2, and I think he's a top 5 guy right now. I would ask you guys.
Mike White had an Elite Eight at Florida, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Who is the best current college basketball coach in the SEC? I think a lot of people would say Nate Oats.
Nate Oats would be in the conversation.
Like Calipari's got the resume.
Yeah. I mean,
you feel like you're getting end of Calipari.
Right. It depends on what you're asking me to grade. Am I grading a 5-year window? It's easy Oats. If I'm grading a 5-year window, am I grading a career? It's going to be Calipari.
Barnes or Pearl? I think you got to go Barnes. I mean, I'd rather have Pearl as my coach.
Yeah, I had to. Pearl's the better coach. Barnes had the better career.
Well, Pearl has been to all these. How many Sweet 16s?
Pearl, I think,
been to one Final Four.
I think he had I don't have his resume open right now.
Three.
I think one. Did he go to one at Milwaukee? I think he went to one at Milwaukee.
Right, through Alabama.
Right. I think he had an Elite Eight and an additional Sweet 16 at Tennessee. So that's 3. And then the one at Auburn is 4.
And then the Final Four.
Well,
but Rick Barnes has got 4 Elite Eights now.
Yeah.
0 Final Fours.
No, he's got one Final Four at Texas.
Yeah, at Texas.
Thank you, TJ Ford.
Yeah.
So anyway,
not Kevin Durant.
It is a slam dunk that it is Alabama the combo. I really wonder if you go country, who number 2 would be.
You don't think you think Alabama's number 1 in the country?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've got what is viewed as a top 10 basketball coach and definitely a top 5 football coach.
Number 2 is tough, man. I mean, that's tough. I mean, who's your second best football coach behind Kirby?
Well, Kalen DeBoer, according to some lists.
I mean, I'm telling you, based on accomplishment, Dabo and Brad Brownell is not all.
Brownell was going to get fired if he didn't make tournament this year.
But he did. He made the Elite Eight.
But he's never done anything up until this year.
Well, but again, Dabo's got 2 championships.
And much like
it's the same thing we do with Kirby and Mike White.
With Calipari, you're getting Dabo in the twilight of his career, although he's a lot younger.
You are 100%.
I don't know, man. You look around Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, but Ohio State just hired in
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And Michigan,
Michigan just lost both coaches.
You're not going to like it. Maybe Lincoln Riley and Musselman.
It's not awful. I mean, Musselman's got 2 Elite Eights, and Lincoln Riley's got a ton of college football playoffs.
3 of them, or 4 of them.
And has played for a national championship, right?
No,
he's never made it past the semis. I don't know, man. That's tough. Jerome Tang and Chris Kleiman isn't awful.
Oh, Oregon's good too.
Yeah, with Dana Altman and Dan Lanning.
Yeah,
Jerome Tang and Chris Kleiman a little underrated.
Yeah, no,
I
think
that's going to be sneaky top 10 probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lance Leipold and Bill Self.
That's true.
That's definitely top.
Yeah, there's a really good one right there.
So next week, I'll give you some time to work on it. Next week, come up with a good, thorough list for that.
Okay.
Give me your top 5 basketball, football combination in the country. We'll do it next week. Let Little T send that out on our social media platforms. Show being brought to you by a couple of folks, including Storm Restoration Roofing, right before we do 4 downs. Greg from Pell City. Even when it's hot like it is on this deck, imagine being on a roof for hours. We're on this deck, and we've got water and beer, and they offered me a smoothie moments ago.
Breaks. We have breaks. When you
breaks,
towels.
When you take one.
Towels.
You agree to take a break, we got them.
We have all that stuff. Greg gets on that roof for free to check out your roof. Don't you want that guy working for you? Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing. You'll see his big black truck rolling through neighborhoods there. You can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City on Facebook, or you can call that number, 542-3531. 542-3531. That's the 205 area code. He roams the 205, trying to make everybody's life better. Free no-cost roof inspection. Get it today. Storm Restoration Roofing, A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau, and so much more. LT, you have something?
Yeah, so our buddy Jimmy Anthony sent us this from College Basketball Report. They ranked the SEC men's college basketball coaches going into next season.
Yeah.
And they've got Oats number 1. Who do you think they got at number 2?
I would say
it's Bruce current.
It's current.
I'd say Bruce Pearl.
Well, this list gets started. They got Rick Barnes at 2. They got Beard at 3, Calipari 4, Bruce Pearl 5. They got Mark Pope at 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's quick.
Well, I mean, do you think I would drive faster in a Ferrari than I would in a Honda?
I would.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I could survive the track.
You're a better driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I would have Todd Golden in that spot. I think their top 5's dead on.
Yeah, I like Todd Golden.
I would go Chris Beard, probably the best coach. So
Slice brings us our 4 downs. Rockstar's got our 4 downs today. 5 locations of Slice.
Yeah, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, and now in Edgewood. And talking to Andrew at Heritage House today, he was like, I'm so thankful you guys bring sponsors on like Slice, because when I was in Birmingham with my wife, it's the best pizza I've ever had. It's local pizza. It's local ingredients. You're going to absolutely love it. Stop in, see the Bajaya brothers. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
What is something most people want until they get it.
A marriage?
Wow.
I'm kidding. What about a Vizsla?
Yeah.
A lot of those rescues.
How about a second Vizsla?
People say boats. Like, I think I would love to have a boat. I would rather have a really good friend that's got boat,
Yeah,
which
that's
I do.
that's the better thing.
But you always hear the boat is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think a boat 3 weekends out of the year to be able to have it down at the lake, not have to pay for it being stored or anything.
Yeah, if you don't have a lake house, a boat's a pain. Yeah.
There's a place down on the lake. Which one is it? Close to Auburn?
Lake Martin.
Lake Martin. I get Martin and Logan Martin and all those lakes confused. But Lake Martin, there's a place you can actually rent pontoon boats by the day. Now,
Elijah?
Have I ever done that before?
Is that a no?
I've thought about it.
Right.
But then I'm scared. Like, am I really a good enough boat driver to navigate?
Probably no.
Navigate the lake.
Do you have your boating license?
I did at one point. Maggie did at one point. I don't know if they're still. Are they valid for life?
I do not think so. I think it's like a driver's license.
Yeah, but I think you can get it online. I think it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it's fairly easy online test, and then they just add it to your driver's
So
license.
I get confused on which side of the buoy I'm supposed to go on.
That's important.
Yeah.
Another one. There are so many people that have hot tubs that don't use them.
Oh, hot tub would be a waste of money for me.
Yeah, like I regret not getting a hot tub when we built the pool. I did that little the sun ledge instead, which I like.
Yeah, I do like that.
But you use that a lot more than you would have used a hot tub.
But no, I think I would have used a hot tub
because you don't have it. You don't have the hot tub.
Maybe. But I know Jack Taylor wanted the hot tub bad. I should have gotten it because you can use it all year. I can only use pool 4 or 5 months a year.
Well, I tell you, the hot tub just had zero appeal to me. None.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to sit in it with anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm being.
That's a lie.
No, I'm talking about certain people
lying.
Yeah, like I wouldn't sit in a hot tub with you two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But not anybody else. You don't want to sit in the hot tub with certain people.
Okay, but here
you don't want to sit in the hot tub by yourself. You want to sit in the hot tub with certain people.
But here's how it would work. Hey, we're going to come over and watch the game tonight, and then hey, how about we all hot tub? No thanks.
Negative.
Yeah.
I just,
that's a step away from dropping the keys.
I got to be honest with you. When I'm in a hot tub,
you're as close to C-Stew as anybody.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you.
I would hot tub with C-Stew.
I knew you would.
Yeah, when I'm in a hot tub, I feel like a soup ingredient. Yeah. Every time I get in a hot tub, I feel like a soup ingredient. I don't like it, huh?
Which one?
Carrot.
I always feel like the bouillon.
Is carrot good in any soup outside of like a stew?
Maggie puts them very thinly sliced in her chicken.
Chicken noodle.
What is it? Yeah,
chicken noodle.
Yeah.
Rockstar, I don't want to be negative here on this, but I think sometimes a dream job. A lot of people think, I want this job. It's my dream job. And then they get it. And they see all the warts that they didn't see from the outside, and they realize it's not their dream job after all.
Yeah,
it's a bit negative.
Like Little T and I, when we got let off of our bus and our Uber, both days we went to the national championship game.
Yeah,
it was absolutely the furthest possible way from the only gate we could get into.
It's like Steve Martin getting dropped off in the rental parking lot of planes, trains, and automobiles.
Well, the first day we walk around and get to the gate. I mean, we had to walk around Fan Fest on the outside. We walked up and then around Fan Fest and then up again and around. They had the Super Bowl perimeter set up, the same security. And then we finally get to our gate for media credentials. They're like, can we see your credentials? And I said, we're going in to get them to the gate. And they're like, oh, you have to go across the street to the mall. And we had to go back.
The F I do.
Yeah. Another 2 miles back that way. I think Taylor told me, I think I may be wrong about this, 18,000 steps. Maybe it was 30,000 steps she had that day after we were walking. And she's got that backpack on her back.
That's a good 9 miles.
Yeah. And halfway through it, I said, the glamour of sports media, man. This is it right here. This is what everybody doesn't see.
I don't know if anybody said it to you, but thank you for your service, Jim.
She was the one lugging the equipment.
Second down.
Taking pictures.
So did you give us an answer, bro?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dream job. Did you give us one, Dunaway?
I'm right with owning a boat.
Rocky, do you have one?
Oh, we didn't do dream job, did we?
I did. I said dream job. Rockstar, did you have one?
I try. The delay is a little rough here.
But did you have one?
I was going to say hot tub.
Oh, really?
Second
so you don't
down.
Like
what ingredient will ruin a good sandwich for you?
Spring mix as the lettuce. I hate spring mix. Like when I get a salad in a restaurant and it's spring mix, I pick all the stuff out.
You're
spring
iceberg.
Mix is all. I am an iceberg or romaine. Spring mix. I don't know why somebody said, you know what's messed up is lettuce. Let's leave the stems on and put it on a plate and pour some salad dressing on it. Like, who wants stems? I'm not a rabbit. I want just normal lettuce. And then when people put it on a sandwich, it's double worse because then I bite in. Now I got a stem in my mouth. I got to pick that out. I hate spring mix.
Would you
spring mix could die in a fire and I wouldn't care.
If my smoking hot wife Maggie calls, wants to get Brown on the phone, we are spring mix.
Awful. Don't ever make me a salad. Spring mix is terrible.
Spinach mixture is what we do.
I mean, I can eat it, but I agree. I'd rather be redneck old school and do the iceberg lettuce. For me,
it's like you plucked it out of the garden and you just eat it with the dirt on it when it's spring mix. It's awful.
Maddie makes incredible sandwiches and she does pickles on them.
I enjoyed her egg salad. It was good.
You didn't get one, did you?
No, you forgot to bring it.
I know you forgot to bring them. I was fired up about that too.
Pickles are great on a sandwich.
Love pickles.
But you know what's not? It's cucumber. Cucumber will throw off a salad. It will throw off a sandwich.
I love a cucumber.
Oh, I can't do cucumber.
Do you eat them on spring mix?
I'll tell you what I do sometimes.
Cucumber has no flavor at all.
That's not true. That's not true. I will slice an entire cucumber, put a dollop of hummus on the side of a burger or something, and dip the cucumber into the hummus.
While you're eating a burger?
While I'm eating a burger sometimes.
That's weird.
Oh my God. You eat hummus and cucumbers with burgers?
Yes. Or with grilled chicken or anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you like
your cycle is so different?
It really is. Do you like spring mix on a sandwich too?
I do throw it on a sandwich sometimes. It's really
that'll ruin a sandwich.
Makes it hearty. I don't like caramelized onions.
I don't either.
Or cooked onions.
Yeah,
I don't like cooked onions. I like them raw. Onions.
Honestly, I think onions are a lazy ingredient. I think a lot of people, because they don't know how to flavor food, they just throw onions in because it adds flavor. Now, it adds bad flavor, in my opinion.
Well, you salt your food, don't you?
If it needs it.
I never salt food.
Me either.
Well,
I like onions.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Third down.
If the next round formed a gang, what would their name be?
The old man gang, based on the way we're talking. You know what I hate?
The Sunshine Boys.
The Sunburned Kids. I don't know. Right?
We would not be a good gang.
Yeah, we'd be a terrible gang.
Well, what are some of the most popular gang names?
Well, I mean,
so I watched the Warriors.
We're not the Crips.
No, the Bloods.
We're neither one of those.
1979 Walter Hill Classic, the Warriors. You guys remember about
Never seen it.
It was when the gangs were at their heyday in New York.
Yeah.
And they literally like dressed up. They all had the same colors and but the Warriors were one. I'm trying to think of some other gangs that were in that movie. I can't even recall, and I watched it the other night.
Yeah.
During winter, we're a pale group. We could be the White Shadow.
Wow. What are we going to do in the summer? Take vacation?
We'll get a little tanner.
Yeah.
We'll get a little more color in our group as we go throughout the summer months.
Rockstar, did you have one for us?
I didn't. I couldn't think of one. I was trying to think of what y'all's interesting answers would be. I didn't really have answers for these.
Yeah, the landmines. I mean, the landmine gang. You know, it's kind of playing off a popular thing on the show.
Well, with our advancing age and the Bloods playing off that, we could be the Transfusions.
Yeah. Rockstar.
Speaking of which, are you gonna have one?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah.
7 o'clock. I'll have a transfusion. Rockstar. What is the worst? What about us would make us a terrible gang?
What? We have no street cred. That's probably a little bit of it.
We're pretty passive bunch.
I go to bed pretty early, and as I've watched the mafia movies, most of the work is done, after like midnight.
And when I hear gang, the connotation is you're pretty much a felon, whether convicted or soon to be.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing we want to do is all go to jail, right?
Absolutely. Although in Goodfellas, when they get put away, it didn't look awful.
Oh, the best jail ever.
Garlic with razor blades.
We were talking about The Gentleman with Luganville, the new series on Netflix. Yeah. And the setup he has got in jail is one of the best ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a legit 5-star chef right there with him.
I mean,
he's outside. He gets to dress up.
The guys in Goodfellas had it pretty good. I mean, they had their own little dorm right there.
It's better setup here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fourth down.
What is a movie that you will defend until you die?
Leaving Las Vegas for me. I know it's depressing. Everybody's like, I can't. What did I just watch? Terrible movie.
Good movie.
A great performance from Nick Cage. He won Best Actor for that. It was nominated for Best Picture. It's very depressing. It's a true love story. It's a legitimate battle that a lot of people deal with alcohol, and I just think it was well done.
He basically went to Las Vegas to commit suicide.
He did.
By alcohol.
Yeah.
Drink himself to death.
That'd be a tough way to do it, man.
It would be, yeah. A lot of work
watching that. It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Hard to watch.
He succeeded.
He did. You can drink yourself to death.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you drank like that for 30 days, I think it would kill you. I mean, yeah.
I think Lance is unnecessarily hard on the rookie with Dennis Quaid. Now, EG will fight for this because Dennis Quaid's her guy. He turned 70 the other day, so it's the oldest guy EG likes.
I found out why she likes him.
Why?
The movie Soul Surfer.
Oh, yeah.
Bethany Hamilton.
Yeah. She liked his part.
So, she said it was her favorite shark movie. So the other night I put it on, and I was waiting for the main star of the shark to show up. It's a quick hit and run from the tiger shark. She does lose her arm, but it ain't a shark movie.
Oh,
but anyway, Dennis Quaid was the dad in that.
Jaws barely shows the shark.
But he's always lurking around.
Yeah, well, there were two reasons. They had mechanical problems.
I know.
And
I know
he wanted the unknown.
Right.
The shark.
You guys, y'all pan it all the time, but Serendipity is so well written.
Oh, I've never seen
it.
Yeah, you should. I mean, it is so well written. It's a good cast.
Yeah.
It's well written. It is a love story. There is some cheesiness in it.
Just give us a 60-second synopsis.
Yeah, break down Serendipity. Sell me. I've never seen it. Jennifer and I are going to watch a movie tonight. Sell me on Serendipity.
It is a story of friendship, of love found, lost, and found again. It's a journey to the end of life. It is Serendipity, my friend.
You gotta go watch it.
You could plug in 1,000 movies with it.
I mean, that's about half a lot.
But when his best friend writes his obituary for him, because that's his best friend's job, is writing the obituary for the New York Times.
Right.
Writes him an obituary. Oh, that's such a great iconic scene. It's such a good movie.
Is that the movie where he goes to the door and he has the different words?
No, that's Love Actually.
Love Actually, yeah.
Oh, that's a great scene.
Do you cry in that?
That's a great scene.
Do you guys like The Patriot with Mel Gibson?
I don't like when they burn the people in the church.
Yeah, that was awful.
That is a bad scene. I agree. When they lock the church and burn it down, everybody dies. Yeah, I did not like that one.
I did get fired up. I was like, I will go fight for freedom too.
That's right.
I think that shows you how against the colonists they were.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
I liked it. It's gotten panned a lot, like cheesy. I think it's fantastic.
Well, the problem is Mel Gibson went from Braveheart to The Patriot, and Braveheart is
so much better.
So much better. Yeah. So much better.
Yeah. That's 4 Downs today with Rockstar, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 great locations. Stop in, get a slice and a salad for lunch today, from the soul pie to the Bajalia special. You're going to love it. Local pizza, local ingredients, 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
And also our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Ortho. They will get you back in the game. How was that yesterday on the golf course?
Yeah.
You could take a swing, an uneven lie.
That's right.
Tweak a back, pull a muscle, something like that. They get you back to work, get you back on the golf course too. That's them. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885. Or you can make an appointment online and see more details at precisionsportsortho.com. precisionsportsortho.com. Orthopedic care better together with our friends at Precision Sports. Baseball note here in town tonight. Last week, Alabama won a series against number 1 Arkansas. Starting tonight at home, a series against now number 1 Texas A&M. Back-to-back series against the number 1 teams in the country.
We talk about how hard it is to play in football in the SEC. Baseball's next level. Now, losses don't add up as much like they do in football. But, I mean, it feels like you're playing a top 10 team every week. And, by the way, they're going to add Texas and Oklahoma.
That's right. Who, by the way, pretty good.
Pretty good program.
Yeah, where are they ranked right now?
I don't know, but they're good historically.
Yeah, so Alabama's 12th, Texas A&M number 1. They start a 3-game series tonight here in town. And Alabama's gymnastics program, for I think the 34th time, is in the national semifinals tonight, starting at 8 o'clock on ESPN2, if you'd like to watch that. They're not projected to move to the championship round to get out of their semifinals, where they're paired up with Oklahoma, Florida, and Utah, some powerhouses.
Joe Lenardi has them going out.
We'll see if Alabama can advance to the gymnastics Final Four, just like the basketball team did, and surprise some people tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2 for that. LT is going to tell you about this great event coming up at Lake Fest, and then we'll come back with some football conversation on the other side. As he gets ready to tell you about that, I'll remind you we're here at North River for our friends at the Rise Center. You can make a donation year-round, risecenter.ua.edu, risecenter.ua.edu. When you go to that website, you can learn all about the organization, but you can hit a donate button there and donate anytime throughout the year, risecenter.ua.edu, LT.
Yeah, big event coming up this weekend. I was wrong on the date.
Oh, no.
May 10th through the 12th, Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by Am First. Again, May 10th through the 12th, Logan Martin Lake right there in Pell City. It's free for the public. Bama's biggest in-water boat show, over 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend, including the Velcro Pygmies on Saturday. There's a fireworks show on Friday night. It's Mother's Day weekend. They're going to take care of Mom on Sunday. Free mimosas for Mom on Sunday. It's all going on at Lake Fest. For more information, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by Am First, at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you: Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
NASCAR is returning to Talladega Super Speedway for the 2024 Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th through Sunday, April 21. Guarantee your 2024 Geico 500 weekend experience today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, presented by Cool Ray. It is the Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st. Guarantee your spot now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
The region's tradition returns to Greystone, May 8th through 12th. A decorated field of players featuring some of golf's greatest names, including Ernie Els, Jim Furyk, Padraig Harrington, and defending champion Steve Stricker.
Oh my goodness!
All fighting for another shot at history. The legends play here. The region's tradition at Greystone. Get your tickets today.
Back with you here in Tuscaloosa. We're at I almost said Lake Fest. We're here at beautiful North River. Just a little cloud cover right now.
It's very nice. Take that.
I was just watching a foursome on what hole is this behind us?
That's 18 right there.
Okay, so they were about 100 yards out. Obviously, a scramble. Everybody hitting the same shot. Made me feel good about my game.
Oh, really?
2 guys somehow hit backward shots that hit the woods. Only one guy hit the fringe of the green.
That's hard to do.
I had a short putt there yesterday to break 9. He'd shoot 89, playing from the men's tees, not up with the old man tees either.
Yeah, Jim was misteed yesterday.
Yeah, I was playing back at the adult tees yesterday.
And Max can play?
He can.
Well, he just doesn't. He doesn't get to play a whole lot this time of year. Is his problem. I think that was his first round of the year.
I have a feeling he's going to get to play a little bit more with the new coach.
Well, I don't know, man.
Than the old coach.
You're saying this program's falling apart, Jim?
No, I'm just saying different angles here. Different angles. It's all about angles, Brown.
Okay.
And ball bearings.
And ball bearings.
But can we tell them about the one thing that's going on in the silent auction?
I'll just tell the story. I don't know.
Can we tell the story about the?
Yeah. Okay. So, normally, as you guys know, when we've done the show from here, Coach Saban is normally here. And unfortunately, he has always supported this charity. He and Coach Stallings have always supported this charity. And Coach has come, and he normally stands on 17 and hits a shot with everybody that comes through. And he's come by and spent some time with us on the show. He unfortunately this year had to be out of town. Coach DeBoer is obviously here. He's going to be with us at 11:30. And felt so bad about it that he reached out to the tournament organizers and he said, I can't make the date work. I have to be out of town. That was something he was supposed to do, but it got moved because of the draft, because he had to leave that weekend open for ESPN. So he had to move this event to this week. And he said, I feel so bad about it, but I want to donate what I can. So why don't you guys just auction off a lunch with me in my new office in Tuscaloosa?
Oh,
for $4.
a lunch for $4.
Lunch for $4. So it's one of the silent auction items here is lunch for $4 with Nick Saban in his new office.
Have you seen what the number is yet?
I have.
We don't need to say
No,
it.
is it?
Can I say the number? Yeah, it's like 3,000 right now, Kerry. Is that right?
Yeah, cruising up towards.
Yeah. Kerry's going to check it. We're going to get a real-time number. I think somewhere around 3,000.
Do you get to pick the menu?
They're going to order in? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
tacos and tequila. You think Saban would do a tequila shot?
I'll pass.
I would imagine he picks the menu. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's really
to do that. He felt so bad he couldn't make it.
You know, it's hard, with these different auctions to have like unique items.
Yeah. So
that's an extremely unique item.
So Rockstar will appreciate this, Rockstar. So one of the gentlemen that was here was telling us a story that Ben Stiller did the same thing. Rockstar, do you like Ben Stiller? I don't know if you're a Ben Stiller guy or not.
I do and I don't. I'm back and forth with Stiller.
Well, I think you'll like this story, though, Rockstar. So he was asked to do the same thing for his son's school, some charity with his son's school. And they were like, would you do something? Would you auction off a lunch with you? And he's like, yeah, you can put it in there. Well, he started thinking, God, I don't know who's going to show up to this lunch. So he showed up at his son's school's charity and outbid everybody for the lunch. So he didn't have to go to lunch with
$30,000.
Ended up bidding $30,000 on the skill lunch with him.
I mean, there's multiple ways to look at it. I mean,
I know.
The end game is as much money as you can raise for the charity. So I give him credit for that.
And if you want to donate, risecenter.ua.edu, risecenter.ua.edu. The donate button is there. I don't think you can bid in the silent
I don't
auction
think so.
there. I think you have to be part of this event. If not, that could get juicy. It could be going way up.
Yes.
Could you see Kirby Smart in Athens saying, I'll bid on that.
Yeah.
I'll have lunch with Nick Saban over in
Did you see Saban showing up to that lunch and Roll Tide Willie sitting at the table?
I really wonder if you could just go to the ultimate Alabama fans that have, there are billionaire Alabama fans. What would they pay for something?
I don't know. It's pretty, I mean,
it's tax write-off.
Pretty much once in a lifetime deal there.
Tell us about Hempill, LT, and then I'm going to get Scott to pull up Rick George, Athletic Director, Colorado. Pretty amazing from his real Twitter X account last night. An amazing tweet from this guy.
205-229-2090. Our friends at Hempill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Okay, so the 14th player from Colorado since this portal opened up on midnight Tuesday morning, 12:01, was Colorado's Alton McCaskill, running back. Played 4 games in redshirted last year, but when he was at Houston as a freshman,
really good,
16 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards of total yardage there. And he redshirted last year, had a little bit of an injury. It didn't work out. He was the 14th player in about 48 hours to hit the portal. And there were some folks reacting on social media to that. And Rick George, the Greg Byrne of Colorado, took to Twitter and retweeted one of them who was bemoaning McCaskill and the number of buffs that have gone to the portal, and tweeted out this: well, you can thank the AGs that got the court injunction over this. And there's his tweet right there. So basically, the attorney generals of Tennessee and Virginia, they got this whole ball rolling. But when he sent this tweet out, the NCAA yesterday had already made it one step closer to it being a rule that unlimited transfers can happen.
Well, first of all, McCaskill will be, if he's healthy, will be a great pickup for somebody. The other thing, I mean, I wouldn't be
going to social media, I'd be trying to handle internally what is going on with my program, because this has become a complete mess. And as much exposure as they got last year and the positive September they had,
53 players they brought in the transfer portal last year.
Yeah. And what are the numbers? We talked about it yesterday. Does anybody know?
I looked it up, and the net is not as bad as you might think yesterday. I think the net was, as of yesterday, like -6, but I also think they were already low on their scholarship numbers. And that's only transfer portal, -6. So what you also have to factor in is loss of eligibility, plus they've only signed 8 players. So I think it was like -5 or -6 just in the transfer portal. Now, when you start talking about guys that were already on that roster that lost eligibility, and you're only bringing in 8, 9 recruits, whatever that number is, I think their biggest problem is going to be a numbers problem. It just doesn't seem like the numbers, unless they can pull a rabbit out of the hat somehow, or they've got a plan that nobody else is aware of but them, which is entirely possible. They're the only ones that have the plan. It seems like they're just going to be short on numbers.
If I was a marginal guy good enough to play, I mean, that is a good place to go, because you're
not
going to
awful.
play.
You can get on the field.
I mean, you're not going to win games,
Yeah.
but
It's not all bad news, because they do have a couple of guys who it's down to them in a couple of schools, including Pittsburgh's great edge rusher, Dayon Hayes. He's down to 2 schools. He's visiting Colorado and USC, and he's going to choose between those 2. And I saw a couple other people that were in the portal that have Colorado very high on their list. And if he's replacing those with better players, Dion may be the guy that gets the last laugh at the end. He may end up saying, listen, I was reshuffling the deck here and going from 9s to Jackson Kings or Queens and Aces. I was trying to make our roster better. I had to get some of these guys out to bring some of these guys in. So maybe we need to let the wheel stop spinning before we judge Dion in this portal news.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, just because you get talent, it doesn't equate to wins. I mean, you look at Kentucky and some of these first-round exits. I just wonder how quickly these guys can come together if Dion is relying on nothing but portal guys coming in. And the other thing we really don't know, can he coach? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he seemed to be able to at Jackson State. Now, a lot of people said he just had the stacked roster because of his ability to recruit. In September, I thought he could, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess. But, a lot of that was Sean Lewis, who's now the head coach at San Diego State.
Yeah, after getting demoted.
Actually, it worked out for Sean
weird,
Lewis.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I really don't know how good of a coach Dion is. And there's other elements to coaching. There is, the locker room and finding out a way to get your message across. Again, I've always liked Dion, like the player, the attitude.
Personality, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special guy, but this is, I don't know, it's just trending in a bad direction.
Okay, there is one more guy who is going to be sought after by a few SEC schools, who dropped an SEC school yesterday. I'll tell you about him after I remind you that the Regions Tradition Golf Tournament is coming back to Greystone May 8th through the 12th. We always look forward to that event, and we'll be out there on Pro-Am Day Wednesday again. We'll be at the White Claws deck just off the 10 green there. That's a par 3 to start your back 9 there at Greystone. We'll be there broadcasting live and doing a lot of social media stuff out there in the Coca-Cola room at the clubhouse, doing some interviews with greats like Nick Saban, who will be there, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze will be there, Charles Barkley, Nate Oats, Riley Green will be there. It's all part of the Regions tradition. Also, Ernie Els and Steve Stricker and all the great pros there for the
Is George Brett coming back?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday action. I don't know if he is or not.
I like George Brett.
It's not on my script. I don't know, man. But you can get your tickets at regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com.
Will you shotgun a White Claw?
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Today or with George Brett?
No, when we're out there.
Yeah.
If I can get a famous celebrity to do it with you, will you do it?
It'd be good video. Little T likes the content.
I mean, who's the famous celebrity?
Riley Green.
Let's say if George Brett was back out there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's famous enough.
I would bet you George Brett would say a white what?
Yeah.
Riley Green will do it. No coach is going to do it, are they?
I don't think you could get a coach to do it.
Yeah, you'd have
you
to.
think that would go viral if Kirby Smart?
100%.
You'd have to hide it in a water bottle for Nate Oats to do it.
Yeah,
and he'd have it down so fast before he got there. Damian Martinez is the running back that I was teasing there. He dropped Tennessee yesterday. He was going to visit, not going to visit Tennessee anymore. So he's down to 4 schools he's going to visit: Miami, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Arizona. I don't know if that's listed in any particular order. But if it comes down to money, and remember, he's walking away from $400,000 NIL money that Oregon State had put up to keep him there after all the changes in their program and their conference went. If Miami wants him, Miami can get him. And you reminded me earlier this week, Miami's leading rusher
Henry
left.
Parrish Jr. is in the portal now, so this makes sense. And obviously, they got a lot of NIL. I know the cat that was the top of their NIL,
John Ruiz.
Yeah, John Ruiz is dealing with some other issues right now. Martinez is a really good back. I thought for sure he'd go to Michigan State. I can't believe they're not one of the finalists. But of that list, I mean, the opportunity to play right away and play for a pretty good team, I would go to Miami.
You would?
Yeah.
You're high. You're as high as anybody I've seen on the Hurricanes.
I think they're going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm like you with Cristobal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think they just got enough talent? They'll
well, and I
overcome
think it's the ACC too. I think the ACC is going to be doing this.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida State's going to be as good as they were last year.
They got a lot of Alabama players. What did they end up with? 5?
Was it 5?
It was at least 5, I think, when Coach Saban retired. We'll talk to Kalen DeBoer coming up. Couple other things that are going on out there.
Are we doing trash?
Yeah,
that's what I was going to ask. Are we?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
We'll do that in the next segment then. We'll get to trash in the next segment a little earlier because Kalen DeBoer is going to be with us at trash time. We'll do that when we come back then. Show being brought to you today by our friends at NASCAR and Talladega Super Speedway. We're out there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. Brown will be there Sunday. LT is there Saturday. Little T and EG is there every day. And we'll be giving you a ton of social media content. It is the time for you to like, subscribe on all of our platforms because we'll be sending out stuff, people watching. If you've ever wanted to people watch Talladega, we will have very little racing on our platform Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be about the people. And the festivities are going on, the music, the drinking, the partying. It'll all be on our platforms this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can be there. Get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Back to Tuscaloosa in a moment.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
The region's tradition returns to Greystone, May 8th through 12th. A decorated field of players featuring some of golf's greatest names, including Ernie Els, Jim Furyk, Padraig Harrington, and defending champion Steve Stricker.
Oh my goodness!
All fighting for another shot at history. The legends play here. The region's tradition at Greystone. Get your tickets today.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst, at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Back with you here at Tuscaloosa and the beautiful Rise Center organization that helps us with their Tournament of Champions every year, or we help them, and a great relationship we have. You can donate at risecenter.ua.edu, the donate button there, risecenter.ua.edu, the donate button there. We're going to bring the guys back in here, and we're going to do trash in this segment right here.
Jim?
Brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
How are you?
Come on back in, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here. Lance Taylor.
I had to.
Musical guest Lance Taylor will be here in a second.
I had to set screen up there.
Yeah. Rockstar, we're going to do trash in a segment. I just saw your text here, so we're going to knock that out here so that we're free in the 11 o'clock hour.
I did not.
I know my ass ain't that bad.
What is happening with that chair?
It's splitting.
Yeah, it's a little split.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
So Mortgage Right brings us trash every day. Rockstar, let's hit that big button, man.
Father of two, Dale Decker, suffers from a rare and seemingly incurable condition that leads to him suffering up to 100 unwanted orgasms a day.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It is spring buying season, and our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. They were veteran-founded here in Birmingham. They offer loans throughout the country, and while the area of they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. My first read on this, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. There is no cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information by going to their website, or if you're in Birmingham, call their Highway 280 office, 205-900-7200. That's 205-900-7200. Talk to someone right now, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. We start first with song lyrics. Now, from the 80s new wave to 90s grunge to the latest pop single, music has changed a lot over the decades. Those changes have come not only in the terms of sound, though lyrics have also evolved as time has passed. So what has changed about the lyrics? We can't get out of our heads. After analyzing 12,000 English language pop, rock, rap, R&B, and country songs released between 1970 and 2020, Innisbrook University and their team have found that lyrics have been getting simpler and more repetitive over time. This trend is especially evident in rap and rock, but it applies to other genres as well. Repeated lines increased over the decades in all genres analyzed, and later lyrics contain more choruses than earlier ones. These increases are further proof that songs have become simpler and more repetitive since the 1970s.
They were pretty repetitive in the 50s, though. They were 2 minutes and 10 seconds long, and it was doo-wop. And so I think that's a bogus assessment.
I don't know.
Some songs, some this. But there are some really bad songs out there occasionally.
Like Love You Like a Love Song, Baby. Did they say anything else besides that in that?
Maybe not, but I will tell you that I forgot this song even existed, but I was listening to Sirius XM 10 Spot, and I'm coming into town, Tuscaloosa, yesterday to meet Brown at the hotel before we played golf, and What Does the Fox Say came on.
Oh, terrible song.
And it still gets played now on this channel.
Terrible song.
And that was one of the worst songs in the history of mankind.
Pretty awful. Pretty awful. Are you going to go get our transfusion?
I will, yeah. If you'll hold this.
Carrie, come
out.
Come on, Carrie.
Carrie, come on in, Carrie.
Carrie Laney.
Carrie Laney, one of our hosts here.
Yeah.
Fantastic person.
Yeah.
Husband
Thank
Brett,
you,
we've put this on the Underhills tab.
That's right. Please charge the Underhills. Well done, Carrie. Thank you.
These three probably hit their food and beverage minimum for the month.
You don't think we put them over the top in April?
Do we have any T-shirts in kind that we can they can trade for?
I've got some koozies in my car.
Florida man arrested earlier this month after he allegedly pelted his roommate with pizza dough because he was making coughing sounds he didn't like. This is when it's time to move out.
You think so?
Yeah.
When somebody throws pizza dough,
well, if you're that annoyed that somebody's coughing,
yeah,
you can't stand to be around them, right?
I mean, Rockstar, do you often have easy access to pizza dough?
With my roommate, yeah, we always do all the time. He's always throwing that damn thing.
Pizza dough is a weird thing just to have, like, you know what? I am upset at you, and I happen to have this pizza dough right here I'm going to throw at you.
So, Joseph,
wait. Does one of these have ginger ale, one have grape juice, and I have the vodka? We're supposed to mix them together? Or?
Is yours a little strong? They gave you a strong mix?
I probably should have stirred this up a little bit.
Heavy hand. They got an Alabama student back there pouring.
I got the grape juice.
Joseph Tressel, 32, charged with criminal mischief, simple battery after the incident that unfolded at the apartment on April 11th. Around 7:20, Tressel was making a pizza. According to the arrest affidavit, it said that Tressel said he heard voices, quote, telling him how to make the pizza. Tressel's roommate started making coughing sounds, which, quote, irritated him. That's when Tressel allegedly grabbed a piece of pizza dough from the floor, threw it at the roommate. Pizza dough struck him in the hip while he was sitting at the dining room table, according to the affidavit. Deputies said he had no visible bruising on him. After the incident, Tressel allegedly went into his roommate's room, grabbed his dresser, slammed it down, pulled the drawers out. This caused damage to the dresser frame.
She looks like the man Elisa.
The man Elisa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Doesn't he?
That's pretty good, Dunaway.
Hey, he looks like a cult leader is what he looks like.
Yeah.
That's a rough-looking dude, man.
Or a follower.
Yeah, that'd be moving out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So a survey conducted last year analyzed the way different men from across the globe position themselves when they relieve their bladders. However, it found that many men in the U.S. aren't peeing in the most effective or most health-conscious way.
All you have to do is go to Jimmy John's and look at the bathroom.
Yeah, they got a lot of suggestions, don't they?
It shows you 22 different ways to do it.
Yeah, here's the problem, Lance. I've been doing it one way so long, this story's not going to help me, even if I am incorrect.
Okay, so the survey conducted last year by YouGov investigated where in the world men sit down to pee. Now, countries such as Germany, 60% saw a solid stream of men sit down to release their bladders. Places like the UK and the US, not so popular. The US in particular scored 10% of men sitting down every single time. Do you guys ever sit?
Never. But let me ask you this.
Sat, after reading this yesterday, I've sat twice now.
Yeah.
Why? Because you pee better?
I mean, according to this, I'm just trying it out.
Yeah, I do occasionally if I wake up and I'm so tired, like it's 3 a.m. and I don't really want to wake up, I'll stumble in there, sit down so I don't have to turn a light on and I don't have to worry about missing.
Yeah, but I mean, if you wake up in the middle of the night with a third leg, you got to get in the shower.
Oh, can I tell you a horrifying story yesterday?
I do the leaning tower.
Yeah.
That never works.
Hey, horrifying story yesterday. Or it didn't end up being horrifying, but it could have been. So we're playing golf. And yesterday, I don't know if everybody noticed, but, it rained some. And then there was this hazy cloud cover. So it got darker than it normally would at the time, right, when we're out there on the course. And we're on, I think, the 15th hole out here at North River. And I had to go to the bathroom. And Dunaway, for whatever reason, refused to go to the bathroom in the trees. He was like, I am.
North River, there are houses everywhere.
He's like, I am waiting for a toilet. I'm waiting for a toilet. I was like, Dunaway, there's just a grove of trees over there. Go pee.
Yeah. Well,
and he refused to do it.
I was a guest. I wasn't going to do it.
So we finally, on the 15th hole, they've got the bathroom house, Lance, and we stop. And he goes in. I was like, well, I guess I got to pee too. So Jim's like, oh, this is the ladies' room. I was like, I don't really think it matters. We're the only ones out here. You just go in there and I'll go in here.
Yeah, by the way, all bathrooms should be unisex.
So I go in the men's room and the light is out and it's getting dark outside because we're late in the round. And
wet, humid.
Yeah, and I can't see anything. I can make out where the toilet is and I can hear the pee hitting the water. And you know what I start thinking? There could be a snake in here, and I got no idea. But then once you've started going, what you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I just had to fight through, man, and go. Now, it could have been horrifying, but it wasn't because there was no snake in there. But all I can imagine.
Your imagination is worse.
It's right. All I can imagine, there's a snake just coiled up right there, and he's going to strike, and who knows what he hits when he strikes.
So Gerald Collins is a consultant urological surgeon, and he said this is generally considered the most healthy way for men to pee.
Sitting down?
He says sitting position is probably, quote, the most efficient way to properly empty your bladder. If you don't empty your bladder, it can lead to all sorts of health issues, UTIs. Guys can actually get those, kidney infections.
Never heard of UTI or kidney infection.
Bladder stone.
Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Guys can get UTIs.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
It's more older, like hospital patients.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can go crazy with a UTI.
I think of the three of us, I have got the smallest bladder. I think I probably go more than anybody on this show, and I never sit.
I'll tell you, he's got the smallest bladder, little T.
Does she? Well, she and I frequently are in the hall at the same time going to the bathroom. So I think she and I must have the same size bladder. Can I ask this? When you finish using the restroom, what do you do? What with the lid and the seat? How do you leave your toilet? Is what I'm asking.
I put the seat down now because
seat down, lid up.
Yeah.
That's the way I leave it too.
Yeah, because there was a time where Leighton was putting the seat up,
right?
Because she thought it was the right thing to do because I always left the seat up when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, maybe I'm doing a disservice to my kid.
Yeah, I'm training her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seat down, lid up is the way you roll.
I'm way off.
Yeah, no lid
A
closed.
little bit of wind.
Brazilian woman reportedly wheeled the corpse of an elderly man into a Rio de Janeiro bank on Tuesday to try to get him to co-sign on a loan.
That's a smart play.
Bank customer, identified as Erica Nunez, was captured on video standing next to the deceased, seated in a chair, seemingly holding up his drooping head. Wild footage, which was first aired by TV Globo, captured Nunez talking to the dead man, whom she addressed as her, quote, uncle, asked him to sign financial documents that would allow her to take out a $3,400 loan. She went on to say, quote, uncle, are you listening? You need to sign the loan contract. If you don't sign, there's no way because I can't sign for you.
TV Globo sounds like something you would say when you're trying to make it sound Spanish, but it's really not.
Brazil's largest broadcaster.
Is it really? But doesn't that sound like something you say to make it sound Spanish? But in Brazil, it's Portuguese, obviously, Jim.
Then thrusted a pen between his limp fingers, instructed him to, quote, hold it hard. Sign so you don't have to give me any more headaches. I can't take it anymore, she says. When a bank worker tries to point out that the man's color looks a little off and he appears, quote, not
No,
well.
you are not looking at the photo. Look at the photo.
Oh, no.
Rockstar, is this a legit photo?
Yes, it is. There's actually video footage of it.
There's video.
Nunez then dismisses the concerns. Quote, he is like that. He doesn't say anything, Nunez says. Uncle, do you want to go to the hospital again?
He's very quiet.
Unnerved bank staffers quickly called the police, who arrived and arrested Nunez. Now, it was later determined the dead was identified as 60-year-old Paulo Roberto Braga. He'd been dead for several hours prior to his trip to the bank. How do you go and find a dead person?
Well, only hours, though. So this was not a Rockstar. Was this a relative of hers?
I think it was a relative, and it's just like, once he died, look, we can get some money out of this. I'll just wheel him in, hold his head up.
Money
it's awful.
Yeah. So it's like weekend at Bernie's.
$3,400 too.
Yeah, I mean that is a lot of work for. I know $3,400 is, she might be in need. That's a ton of work for $3,400.
Really is.
And that smell. Is that trash?
Yep.
That
If
is
you're
trash brought to you by Mortgage Right.
looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. And speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right is your one-stop shop for mortgage. Visit them online, mortgageright.com, or call the Birmingham office, 205-900-7200 to talk with a mortgage pro right now. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
I don't want a Monday morning quarterback, but I feel like we've mismanaged our time here.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
to say that. Why do you say that?
Well,
We got one more segment, and then we take a break, and we got Kalen DeBoer to the top of the hour.
Oh, I thought we only had one more break left.
We do. We got one more break left.
Okay.
It is top of the hour here. No, this is the end of the 11 o'clock hour. We got one more break in the 11 o'clock
Oh,
hour.
we're only at the end of the 11 o'clock hour?
This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabama.
Did I pass out?
Yeah. That's why Rockstar texted us. We're doing trash here?
Yeah, well, I thought
it was already 10:53 when we were commercial break.
Rockstar was.
You're not helping me right now.
Oh, excuse me. Jim, go
Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go see Sterling and those hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. The final hour of the show, including Kalen DeBoer, when we come back right here from Tuscaloosa.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com. Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for The Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing.
Start your engine!
Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Hey, you. Days warming up, looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
NASCAR is returning to Talladega Super Speedway for the 2024 Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th through Sunday, April 21. Guarantee your 2024 Geico 500 weekend experience today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, presented by Cool Ray. It is the Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st. Guarantee your spot now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show always brought to you by Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. In that place right over there will be Kalen DeBoer coming up in a few minutes. That guy over there runs the historic Innisfree. Did you see him last night, Brownie?
I did see him last night.
Come jump on with us, Trip.
Yeah,
hop on real quick.
Carrie's going to have help you. We know. We headphones over there, Trip. Headphones over there.
Yeah, I met Trip Rogers, Innisfree fame.
Yeah.
I met him in the fall of 1990. I forgot what our class was. It was one of those, maybe biology, one of those big core classes you got to take. And this is how old we've gotten. He's wearing it. He's wearing a brace to play golf.
I got my new brace on this year.
When I saw Trip in a knee brace, I was like, oh my God.
26 years in the bar business, it'll wear you out.
Just standing all day.
Yep, standing all day, helping everybody out, make sure the customers have fun when they come to Innisfree.
I mean, how much has this town just changed? And like you specifically talk to Nick Saban taking the job and what it's done, because you guys opened Innisfree in 97, maybe?
May of 98.
98.
In about 1,000 square foot location down on Greensboro Avenue next to the shirt shop. And at the time, Alabama was, right around 18,000 students. And, Dr. Wood took over and, man, it took off. And it's been great. I mean, we go around the country. I can't tell you how many kids and families we've met from all over the country in the last 10 to 15 years. And it's been phenomenal. I mean, I came from Washington, D.C., and I met people down here that didn't even know where Washington, D.C. was, and, it's been phenomenal.
What's wild for you guys, though, is how the reaction videos go viral always from Innisfree.
Oh, yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's,
SNL, too, with Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, with Morgan Wallen, which I'm going to see tomorrow in Oxford.
Was he really in there, making out
with
chicks?
He was. So,
we're broadcasting, right? He was.
Morgan would probably take throwing chairs off of roofs now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people make bad mistakes.
One thing we noticed last night, we were at Chuck's, and I pointed this out. I was like, all these 21, 22-year-old girls are drinking bottles of wine. Like, we didn't have money when we were in school. And is this something you've seen since a lot of out-of-state has come in, where kids just run credit cards and spend? Like, I would go out with like $25 and try to make that work.
Oh, yeah.
But now these kids, it seems like they've got unlimited funds.
I don't know. Some of them do, yeah. I mean, if you look at the car selection around campus, you can kind of tell. But, yeah, I mean, and their tastes are different. I mean, they have better, they have higher taste. They want better stuff. So we carry a lot different things than we used to. We
So you have students
we
that
adapt.
like high-end bourbons. Are they
Oh
drinking-
yeah,
It's
oh yeah.
crazy.
And then you have the other ones that store drinking the same stuff that
I was
I'm
drinking
still
Old Grove.
but yeah. I mean, exactly. So you just have a wider range, and I mean, we're one of the only colleges that's over doubled in size in the last 20 years, which is unbelievable. And a lot had to do with Saban, which is great. And now we enter a new era with Coach DeBoer, and it's going to be fun.
Why did you pick Innisfree, the name?
So it's from the Yates poem, William Yates. It's called The Lake Isle of Innisfree, and it's about him finding his place, escaping the bright lights of the big city, and finding his place to relax and have fun.
Where did you encounter that?
Another trip that I've never seen before.
Were you sober when you read that?
Actually, we got it from a good friend, Ian Fitzsimmons. His mom gave it to us.
No, Fitzsimmons.
Well, Ian was one of your partners.
He was.
And then, Ian made the mistake of getting out, right?
And exactly. But he's helped us out, as he's gotten bigger. He always gives us a shout out every once in a while.
So Fitzy's mom literally came up with me, because if Fitzy told me that, I would not believe it.
Yeah, I will back up Ian's story this time.
Okay, another great story with you is your relationship with Kevin Plank, the founder of Under Armour. And I mean, literally, he was selling stuff out of the back of his trunk.
Yeah.
You bought in early, didn't you?
I got in. Unfortunately, I got out early too, which, but yeah, I mean, he slept on my couch back on 13th Street when he first came to Tuscaloosa.
So he was busting his ass.
Oh yeah. I mean, literally, as a story, and we know from growing up together, I mean, he literally was in his last month of business, and it was, he was like, I gave it a run. It happens, let's go on and do something new.
Yeah, I've heard him tell the story. I interviewed him down at the quarterback club a couple of years ago, and he told the story. It is remarkable. I mean, it was basically like, this is the last, I think it was like $900. Last $900 I have.
Yeah.
We're done. Once I'm through this $900, I'm done, but I'm going to see it to the end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to quit.
And he has, and now he's back at the helm. So we'll see. Hopefully he can, right the ship and see what happens.
It's a great American company.
It's a tough business.
It is.
I mean, it's the hardest business in the country, retail,
Hey, this guy also knows Keith Wisenhunt and the guys at Ocean City invited to come last year.
Those guys are great, man. We'll be back up for the July 4th this year.
Yeah, he goes up and hangs out with Plank up there.
Up in Ocean City.
For the week of July 4th, and then we turn around and come back to our home in Orange Beach and for the Blue Angels.
Yeah. Do y'all fish up there?
No, we just go and hang out. We go to Monty's at the Starboard. So,
it's an interesting place.
It is. It's like no other place. It's fun.
A different world.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Going out on the town, I'm about using baseball analogy, I'm about a single A, maybe, low A kind of talent on the town. Ocean City that was an aggressive bunch of
it. Is.
Hard charging men and women. They drink, they party.
Oh, yeah.
It was a fun time.
It was a fun time growing up.
Craziest thing you can tell us you've ever seen at Innisfree?
You
can tell us. Trip.
Ones you can tell aren't any fun.
No, but the best, you guys have had the surveillance cameras forever.
Yeah.
And just true or false, have you ever seen an employee naked on camera?
No.
Okay.
No, I have not.
I was asking.
I mean, Trip could crap himself so bad with that answer.
Have you ever?
I'll tell you. I'll give you one example.
Okay.
It wasn't at Innisfree, but it was another one of our bars at the time. There was a couple. They were going through a divorce or whatever, and I don't even know who they were, but we had it all on video. This guy comes in, gives this girl money. He walks out. This girl walks over to this other girl and just, clocks her. And then when she's down, kicks her, then runs out, gets in a car, drives off, gets a DUI. And it was just, you can't make it up. Like the stories that go on.
So your security camera footage was.
Oh, yeah. It was on point. It was crazy. But that's, it's amazing what happened.
How's the rooftop bar going?
The rooftop bar.
Do y'all have rooftop?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
No, I wish.
Okay.
I
thought they did.
That's better. He asked.
Yeah, it's live in the air. Go ahead.
Your old man just died, didn't he? And Fitzy was like, nothing I'm aware of.
Have you ever met Ian's dad?
Oh, many a times. I met the judge many a time. I met him when I was in high school.
Ian's not a big fan of the judge.
No, they don't. They've crossed ways a little bit. So it happens.
But he's still alive for the record.
He's still alive. Yes, he's still alive.
What's your tea time today?
Well,
we're on number 10. We got caught up.
Look, here comes the rest of his group. They're like, let's go.
The rest of the team in is free right there. The one who runs in is free.
We'll let you get back
All
to
right.
the golf course.
Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it, brothers.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Thank you for all the free taps. We appreciate it, man.
That is a
sorry, Trip.
I'm telling you, if you just good college bar and how they've grown is just it really is amazing. They got a machine.
They really do.
We talk about our friends at Floribama and how they run it. I mean, Tripp and the guys and Nick. They do this, and Derek Purdy, shout out to him back in Birmingham.
I
fell through.
I stopped. I made one stop. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace this chair, Lance. Was it that way when we started the show?
I don't know. I mean, I know I've gained a little weight. But
I think if we get one of those cushions.
Here, let's show everybody what Lance has done to this chair. See if we can see that on camera. We're going big chair. Oh, this is going to be so weird.
Should we put DeBoer in
that? Yeah, we'll put DeBoer in that one.
Give the guest the good chair. Hey, is that real quick? Make sure.
Now, if I break this one, we've got an issue.
There you go. I'm going to be. There you go. All right, you're good. All right, very good.
Okay, there we go.
That's fantastic.
We need to make sure that's not really wet for Coach DeBoer, though. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So
we're going to take a quick break here in a second, and then we'll come back and talk to Kalen DeBoer and finish up the show commercial free there, like we used to do in the Rock Block back in the days. But sunny weather here, and as always, we're here for the Rise Center, and you can help. No matter where you're watching in the country, just go to this website, risecenter.ua.edu, risecenter.ua.edu. There's a donate button, easy right there. But also, you can get details about what the Rise Center does for so many individuals here in the Tuscaloosa area. And really, we want people around the country in their towns to look at the Rise Center and sort of start, adopting what they do here and start their own centers in other cities around the country. It's just a great program they have here, and you can donate and make it successful and continue into the future like it has in the past. risecenter.ua.edu, risecenter.ua.edu, and hit that donate button there. Greg Byrne with us earlier, podcasted at Spotify and also on Apple Podcast. When we come back, we'll talk to Alabama head football coach Kalen DeBoer, and we'll discuss some other football news as well until he joins us. We are live here at North River on Tournament of Champions Day. This is The Next Round.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Birmingham, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions return to Protective Stadium on Saturday, April 20th, as they take on the DC Defenders for Throwback Night. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. There's something for fans of all ages. Tickets start at just $22. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 4 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Stallions. Let's pack protective, Birmingham. Get tickets at theufl.com.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th, LoganMartinLakeFest.com. There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food
than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville. NASCAR is returning to Talladega Super Speedway for the 2024 Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th through Sunday, April 21. Guarantee your 2024 Geico 500 weekend experience today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, presented by Coolray. It is the Geico 500 weekend, Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st. Guarantee your spot now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
If y'all need something else, I'm putting it on my buddy's tab. That's what somebody just told us out here. Your towel.
I've never been a country club. Like, I would love to be in a country. I just don't play golf, but like, I've never had one of those numbers that you can just wear out.
I'm not going to give the. I got to be careful here because I can't give the club away or the name, because if I give the name, you might be able to guess the club. But it is somebody associated with the play.
Is this the most brown start to a story you've ever
I
heard?
just don't want to give it away because then somebody could go to the club and use this number. But I went and played with the son of a member.
Let's see how powerful the next round is. Give it out. And see if somebody.
And
we'll cover the tab for a month.
No, you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. And we go in, and he gives the number. He goes, "What's the number?" He goes, 007. I said, 007. He goes, "My dad was the 7th member here, so it's 007.
Oh, that's
like,
pretty
that
cool.
is an awesome club number. Yeah, his number's 007.
Yeah, but it would be impossible for you to use. That jumps out so much to anybody that would be working. They know who.
Probably so. Probably
No,
so.
they'd be like, "Oh God, this guy's friends of that guy."
Yeah, but I was like, holy crap, your dad was the 7th member. Yep, my dad was the
I mean,
7th
look,
member.
it would be
007.
chintzy at stealing, but I guarantee you, if you looked the part and walked in and said 513, they're going to be like, okay.
Yeah, 007 is a good course number to have, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way,
what?
My mortgage payment or the cost of those boots that she's wearing over there? Which is higher, you think? I bet boot costs.
You're going boots?
I'm betting boot costs.
I don't know.
I bet boot costs.
Don't know.
I'll ask her. Cost of those boots or my mortgage? Which is higher monthly?
Probably
the boots.
Probably the boots. I like that she owns it. Yeah.
She took a sip of this and she was like, "Are you a kid drinking a transfusion?"
That's my drink.
It's a good golf course drink.
No, transfusion's a golf course drink. Like, people that don't play golf don't know what a transfusion
And this
is.
hydrates you.
It's my drink.
Yeah, it's a way
Ginger
to.
ale, grape juice, and red bot
Some
vodka.
places do it with Sprite. I don't know. We got ginger ale.
I
Some
think
places do it with Sprite.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
The problem is I can't pound Red Mont vodka all day.
Yeah. Transfusion's a good golf course.
And you and I have. We both have something, which is kind of weird that we're both doing this tonight.
It really is. I'm surprised both of you have done this.
It's the next round. Giving back.
Yeah, I am going to be
back. You're doing a senior night. You're not donating a kidney.
I'm going to be at
Dear
Vestavia for Lucy Spisto, Michael Spisto, one of our good friends.
Vestavia what?
Senior year?
It's her senior
So
year.
you're doing a senior night?
So I am announcing senior night for
So
Vestavia.
what are you doing? You're doing the game night now batting.
In typical Spisto fashion. He's asked me to come out, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
So I hope you're doing like now batting.
I don't think I'm
left
doing
fielder.
that. I used to do that as a kid, like
I've
Highway
done
did.
that before. Yeah.
I think I'm just like announcing the seniors and where they're going to school.
Oh, okay. So you're So you'll be attending University of
yeah.
And what are you doing?
I am helping out Moody softball.
Who do you know with Moody softball?
Scott Forrester's daughter's a junior there. So the juniors have to take care of the seniors because usually the senior dads are running everything. So
Yeah.
Forrester next year will be a senior's dad. So
Right.
Somebody will have to take care of him.
Has Forrester told you what you're doing?
I think I'm announcing the seniors coming out to get their flowers with their parents. and
Yeah.
Being honored pregame. I don't know yet if I'm hanging around.
Yeah, let me ask you, what is the obligation? Do we have to hang out?
I
for
don't
the
know.
game?
Well, Scott.
Like, I really don't want to hang out for the game.
I will do whatever Forrester wants me to do. If I'm calling the game, I'll call the game.
Well, let's ask Scott. Scott, does Dunaway need to stay and do play-by-play of the game? Do we need like a spotting chart so Dunaway can do play-by-play?
That's above my pay grade, but I don't know. Jim, do you want to hang out?
I will hang out as long as I need to hang out.
I love
Which means
Forrester.
he doesn't want to.
Forrester, Jim, do you want to hang out? Dunaway can't say, nah, I'm not gonna hang out.
Listen, I hang out with you every morning at 7 at work.
Oh yeah, first one in.
And you are my fourth favorite Forester.
Give rats, all right. First one in, coach's kid. Can't keep him out of the film room.
You are my fourth favorite Forester. My chance to hang out with the other three would be fantastic.
My favorite Scott lied. Jim, do you want to hang out? No one what Dunaway wants to say, but he can't say it.
Brown's trying to encourage me to go by and shower before I come to the softball field. Do I need to shower, Forster?
I am going to shower.
Well, you're going to an indoor event.
No.
What do you think they got a dome at Vestavia?
Well, what is it, a softball game?
Yeah.
If somebody does, it'd be Vestavia. Hey, is Forster, does Dunaway need to go shower first, do you think?
You probably got time.
Yeah, I mean, you want to smell like balls and transfusion.
I was trying to get Dunaway to go to lunch with me, and he gave me the typical Dunaway, like, I don't know, Brown, how much time I've got. I got to be at this thing at 4 o'clock.
I just don't think I'm going to shower. I'm going to softball
See,
field.
Forster will let you off the hook. Spista will guilt me into staying.
Yeah.
And he hangs a hell of a TV, so I really can't say anything.
I didn't want to shower after golf yesterday.
He does.
I wanted to go golf straight to dinner because there's a thing called pheromones, right? Am I right about this?
Yeah. It's called body odor.
No.
There's no way.
I don't stink. I smell really good.
Yeah, no, you do.
According to
my wife,
I smell good.
My wife will barely let me hug her when I come home for playing golf.
Well,
I know how bad I stink when I play golf.
I don't sweat a lot. I don't sweat a lot.
Hell, you don't. Dunaway, you
I
know
don't
you
sweat
stink
a lot.
after you play golf.
I don't.
It's ridiculous.
I don't work as hard as you. I only hit it 200 yards at a time.
You hit far more shots than I do.
I do, but they're just short shots. I don't.
No, I
sweat a
think
lot.
everybody in the sun smells.
Yeah, you stink when you're done playing golf. You should go shower.
I use a great deodorant that smells like the beach.
What great deodorant do you use?
It's,
Secret?
I do occasionally.
Strong enough for a man.
For a woman.
Your pH balance is always off.
What deodorant do you use that's better than a shower?
It's Old Spice and it's a Fuji blend.
How old are you? You're using Old Spice deodorant?
Oh, it's the best.
What do you use? I use Speed Stick.
I don't know. I use
Speed Stick. Stinks out of the.
So I used to wear the green, and then I was told it smelled like
ass.
patchouli.
Patchouli.
Yeah, so now I use the ocean version of the Speed Stick. It smells good.
I got Gillette, and it spins up, and it's gel, and I think it's called Cool Wave.
Lunsford would tell you if he's by the microphone that I smell really good.
Is Lunsford back there, Rockstar? I want to test this. Is Lunsford available?
He is not.
Oh,
He is
damn.
not.
Rockstar, do you think Dunaway smells good?
I don't get near him to smell him.
I mean, there's some people that are just more musky.
That's not me. That's not me.
I don't get close.
No,
enough to you,
we
so I
were
don't know.
when we were at Odie's the other night, though, the Odie's in Vestavia, or excuse me, the Odie's in Homewood, there was that old man that walked in that was wearing cologne, and everybody within a 15-table radius could smell the guy.
I don't wear cologne.
No, you shouldn't. And I'm like, well, I mean,
Would you rather have a little BO or smell like Body Axe?
I
mean, you're going to get dogged out either way, you know?
I think I'd rather smell like Axe than BO.
Yeah, I would too, because at least it says you're putting forth effort and you're clean.
Yeah. Well, with Axe, at least I've tried something, right? I've tried to fix it.
Well, we need a next round hat right
So
now.
are we?
Kalen DeBoer's without a hat. What's he doing?
Are we not? He's going to burn.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're going to burn that dome.
There's
Oh, he's
somebody.
got a hat.
He's
No,
got a hat. He's got a hat.
Oh,
Okay.
thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
Because we've all got hats on, Coach.
Yeah. Feel free.
Hey, he's daring. He's leaving the hat right now. I would
know.
bring the hat.
Yep.
Oh, he's not going to bring the hat.
Yep.
Kalen DeBoer.
You want some spray, some copper tone?
If I'm on here much longer, I might need that. So
Well, I mean, it's 30 minutes.
30
Coach.
minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah. 30 minutes is a long
He didn't
time.
know that.
Yeah.
Good to see you again,
Hey,
Coach.
Hey, how
good
you
to
doing?
see you guys. Yeah.
If you don't remember us, I know you do interviews
yeah,
with a lot of people.
absolutely.
We were with you at the complex.
If there's
one
anyone-
time.
$100 bill if you can guess what I'm drinking in this.
Better not go there.
Yes.
What aren't you drinking? Probably.
I was told it's a kiddie drink. It's called a transfusion. You ever heard of one?
No.
Wow, it's good.
Not in those terms.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Grape juice and
Vodka, Jim?
Ginger ale,
ginger ale
vodka,
and
vodka.
Redmond vodka.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Charles Barkley's got a vodka. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
That's probably going to make it all over the internet now too, right?
No, I mean,
No.
So your golf game. Now we're through spring football. Now you've got to go meet fans at this caravan, and now you got to play in some golf tournaments. A couple of these coming up. You're a former baseball player. What's the golf game like?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's non-existent right now. There was a reason why I just went around and shook hands and didn't take a lot of shots today. So between kids and coaching football and some moves here over the last couple of years, the golf game certainly suffered. So
yeah, I was going to ask you, your ascension has been incredible, but I'm sure you played in some interesting golf tournaments in Seattle. Who is maybe the most interesting or famous person you've ever played with?
Man, yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of time. I didn't get too much into the golf, to be honest with you. So it's just not. I mean, I enjoy it. I love the game, but I can't say that there's some great coaches charity type deals. But yeah, I mean,
well, you'll be in Birmingham next week or next month for Regions, right?
I better get practicing up.
Yeah, a lot of people watching, Coach. You're going to be in the
I
biggest
don't think I
group.
can slide off to the side like I did today on that one.
Yeah,
So,
you're going to be in the biggest group.
Yeah.
There'll be people around the fairway.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Pressure will be on. So
Pressure will be on. We've seen people get their head split open with a golf ball there before. So.
He's on T1. He'll be announcing.
Yeah.
Can you set him up right now? How you're going to do it?
I don't have a joke about Kalen DeBoer yet. I'll work on something before the event, but it would be something.
What about Mount Rushmore? We know he's been on top of it.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about.
Will
that,
he ultimately be
on Mount Rushmore? On the Mount Rushmore college football coaches.
The man who is once on top of the mountain that one day he'll be the face of in college football. Please welcome Alabama coach.
When you're replacing a
DeBoer.
Mount Rushmore guy, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He sat here last year and did 1 hour with us.
Man, there's just expectations all the time, man. I just gotta, live up to those expectations in every way. An hour. Huh?
We told you last time when we were at your facility, you need to learn how to say no more. Not to us necessarily.
Yeah, not to us. Always yes to us.
Yeah, no, that's this is a great event. This is an awesome.
It is.
Awesome
The rise of Foundation is amazing. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
We didn't talk any football with you the first time, so we'll talk a little football here. I want to ask you, the guys who came with you from Washington, here, the players, how they've handled the transition, because it's a transition for you coaches, but it's a transition for the players too. Wide receiver, center, a couple of guys who came and were with you with the Huskies that are now part of this Crimson Tide team. How are they handling the transition?
I think I'm really glad you asked, because one thing with all of this this move, and they're always kind of referred to as your guys, and there's no doubt about it. They're guys that came in here, and man, I love each one of them, and I have a relationship that's very strong with them. And these guys are all really good football players, but they've done a great job. I couldn't be more proud of just the way they've really kind of stepped slowly into trying to be part of the team and not try to come in with any type of ego. It's not who they are anyway. But they've just really tried to adapt in the ways that they saw fit, here in the program. And their timeline, if you really think about it, I don't know how many people have really processed this. They played on a Monday, traveled back on a Tuesday. By late Wednesday night, I guess my name's floating around. By Thursday, it's going strong, and their world's getting, flipped upside down, and that's the time when you really want to be celebrating, what the season was. I know it came up short, but, within probably, I don't know what the exact number of days was, but within a week for sure, and all the stress and trying to figure things out, not just them, but other guys, they're on an official visit, and, literally it was them flying home and turning around and flying back immediately with their duffel bag, and possessions to start school the next day, and so that was just a lot on them. They just went nonstop, and so I know I'm speaking a lot about these guys, but I really haven't done that much. I'm super proud of them, and there's some special players, but also even more importantly, just some great young men.
Watching Parker Brailsford at center, just tremendous season this past season. And I said a couple of months ago, I think he'll be the first team All-American center coming back. Could be wrong on that, but obviously he hasn't been participating right now. I think he's still working out. What is the status right now with Parker?
Yeah, he'll be back with us. He's going through workouts. He's been working out with our strength staff, and so he's back with. He never left us. He's just back with us, and I know he wasn't practicing. So, but he'll be full go workouts here this summer, and it wasn't about really ever wanting to leave or go anywhere. Just working through some things with specific to him, and again, it's never anything where you ever got in trouble or anything like that. It's nothing like that. So he's a great young man, great football player, and played both center, and he actually started the season last year at guard for us. the first few games until some injuries happen. So very versatile when it comes to what his game is all about.
Kalen DeBoer is the Alabama head coach. He's with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline here at North River Yacht Club for the Rise Golf Tournament. What has been, and Greg Byrne told us a story of you going to Walgreens, I think, and then realizing this might not work here.
I tried to go late too. I tried to go.
So what happened? Was it?
Yeah, it was early, and I guess your face is always kind of plastered around things, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the typical, right? You walk in and it's all good. I mean, that's part of it. You know it's going to be that way, and it's an honor to be in this position. So, but yeah, it took a little longer than what you accounted for to get in and out.
Has that been the biggest oh crap, or not? Maybe not oh crap, but like the biggest eye-opening moment of what it is to be the Alabama football coach?
I mean,
or
I
was
think
72,000 at a spring game in a practice?
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah,
but no, it's been. I can't say it was a surprise. I think, I had a heads up on that. And certainly it's been awesome. The fans and everyone engaging and wanting to, show their passion and their love and wanting a chance to meet you, shake your hand. It's awesome. I'm going to embrace that. That's for sure.
Has there been anything yet that you've got here and it hasn't been what you thought it was going to be? Has it all been exactly what you thought it was going to be, or maybe even a little better?
Yeah. I mean, I think again, I've done it enough and seen it, and obviously this is a different situation in a lot of ways, but it's been something where I can't say there's too many things that have kind of caught me off guard or anything like that. So I got great people around me that give me a heads up on where we're going, who we're meeting, what this the history of this, even this event right here and what it's all about. So I've been prepped well, and it's been good.
I'll tell you, the grass gets a lot better at the stadium. I mean, that was a one-off. That doesn't usually happen. The grass will be spectacular when you play Western Kentucky.
I know.
Yeah, you'll think you're walking at Augusta.
Yeah,
Western Kentucky.
That's right.
You mentioned you guys came up a little short this year playing for the national championship. Now taking over this program that was in the college football playoff as well. We were talking about expectations. You were talking about them. You know what's here. Do you expect to win a national championship in year one?
Yeah, I mean,
he played for one last year.
I'm aware.
I'm just asking. You got a talented roster, by the way.
This is what will get spread around the internet. This answer.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, like that's what you come here for, right? You come here, and there's going to come a point in time where there's a lot of pressure going into a week or going even into a moment of a game. And the thing I'm always going to remind the guys of is this is why you came here, and that's why I came here too. Is to be a part of that. And having those expectations, and that's what it's been, and that's what it needs to be. You try to do everything you can each and every day to make that happen, to live up to that. That's certainly our goal.
In Washington, it's a little different. Like you had to go undefeated to get to college football playoff. Now with this 12-team playoff in the SEC with a brand like Alabama, you can lose 2, maybe 3 games. I know that probably doesn't change the mentality. You want to win all of these games, but when you look at this, is it a little bit different?
Yeah, I don't think you want to think that way. Because when you feel like you got some wiggle room, I mean, that's when you got to keep the pedal down, and you got to make it about getting better every single game and focusing on that moment. And yeah, I get what you're saying. There is a little bit of that, but if you're really trying to reach the top, you got to find the best path to get there. And
did y'all feel that pressure at Washington though? Like knowing like we can't lose a game.
There came a point, I think, not the pressure, but we knew what we were up against. I just don't like, having grown up, and I know it's way different. So I'm not comparing it's apples to apples, but when I was at Sioux Falls, I knew we needed to be the number 1 seed every single year. And the reason is because there were a lot of other good teams out there. And if we had to go on the road, it would be much different than playing them at home in South Dakota when the wind's howling up and down that field. And it was cold and blizzard conditions sometimes. And, like the pressure was on then. And you just learn how to not think about it that way and just be in the moment. And that moment might be that game plan, game planning on Monday, that practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday's going to come. Saturday's going to get there. And it's just, again, like it was this last year, I think our guys just focused on that day. And then Saturday comes, and the preparation that comes into that you put into it is what gives you the confidence to go out there and just cut it loose and let it rip. And there was a lot of pressure moments. I don't think, though, that we ever thought about like, oh, this moment is going to dictate whether we make it to a national championship or even a national semifinal. You're just trying to win that moment, win that game.
I'm interested about some other coaches in the SEC because you're in a calendar year at this event. You're going to move your family here to Tuscaloosa. You're going to do 3 Alabama events, including throwing a fish down at Orange Beach with our friends at the Floribama, which will be fun at Mullet Toss.
They say you fold it in half if they haven't told you.
By the way, they'll fold it in half.
Fold it in half and throw it, yeah.
And then you're going to be in Destin at the SEC meetings, the meetings, spring meetings. And you're going to be in a room with the 15 other SEC coaches. Has any of those guys reached out and said, hey, Kalen DeBoer, have you made friends with anybody else in the SEC? I don't know how close the coaching community is, and you're sort of the new guy coming to their group. Has anybody reached out to you?
Well, there's been meetings already that we've had.
Okay.
There was meetings in February, and so and then I think what, people probably don't understand is that the coaching community, as much as we're supposed to be, beating each other heads in the wall, and things like that. We're trying to make the game better. We're talking through things, and obviously we got a lot of pride in trying to, do what's best for our conference as we make decisions as head coaches. And, our recommendations that we make, whether it's nationally or just, the SEC, they're important. And so there's a lot of communication that happens behind the scenes, trying to do what's best for our game, trying to, of course, do what's best for our conference. And that, specifically is about, what we also think is best for our individual programs.
Now, I think when this most recent transfer portal opened, a lot of people were watching. Obviously, some guys jumped in between Coach Saban and you and didn't wait to see what played out. And that's fine. I mean, that's their right to do that, obviously. Yeah. I think a lot of people were watching this one to see what does it say about maybe this team or what you've done that it hasn't been a flood that maybe some people would have predicted.
Yeah, I mean, I would have hoped that it is what we're going through right now. And of course, we still got a couple weeks left of that. And, things can change. Guys are still always trying to figure out where they're at in their career. But I think we're in a great position, considering everything, like you said, that has happened with major transition. I'm proud of our staff for developing some relationships. I'm proud of how they've really helped show guys their role in the team and helped the buy-in to those roles happen. There's almost 130 guys on our team, and we're meeting with them individually one-on-one, every single one of them. And so, those are important meetings that are happening right now.
And I know this will come as a shocker to you, but there were some people in our chat room that think you might be starting their own quarterback right now. So how do you deal with that room? Because that's a unique position, obviously. There's only one guy out there at a time, and you got some talented guys in that room. How do you deal with that room in a transfer portal?
We have 4 very talented. I know that you always go right to who the starter is, but there's some great talent. And I think I can't express the appreciation they have for just believing in our process and believing in what we're doing. And you see from the beginning of the spring, every single one of those guys improved, becoming more comfortable in the offense. Improving doesn't mean they're perfect. There's a throw here, a throw there that they read, you can see it in the spring game. I've seen it in the scrimmages, but man, they're all in, they're diving into the playbook, and they believe in the development that they're going to get in this program. Nick Sheridan's done an amazing job. I think really trying to, continue to foster the competition amongst the group, but also those guys, it's really neat seeing their relationship and their trust in each other, their belief in each other. And those friendships continue to grow. And so he's done an amazing job, not just with the offense, but with the quarterback room.
A lot of people would say the best organization that never won a Super Bowl is the Buffalo Bills. I think it's the Minnesota Vikings. You grew up a Vikings fan. 1998.
I was at the game.
Oh, were you
really? I was going to ask where you were.
I'd missed a kick all year.
Gary Anderson missed that kick.
Missed one all year.
And what was more heartbreaking, that year or when we saw Stephon Diggs with the walk-off, and then you're hosting the Eagles and a backup quarterback in Nick Foles?
I think the 98 one, I was probably a bigger fan because I was living right there, and still in those years when you're die hard into the NFL and pro team. I still, enjoy watching all the teams, but go back to my roots of being a Vikes fan. But
it's a great fan base. I went to the stadium a couple of years ago.
I haven't been.
Had an incredible time. It's my favorite. I've told these guys, they'll back it up. It's my favorite NFL stadium I've been to, and I've been to a few.
Yeah, we're talking about the Metrodome was when I was there. So I haven't been there since. Been on, out of that area of the country here over the last 15 years almost now. So, but that was a quiet stadium walking out of there.
That offense seemed unstoppable. So it was Was
Culpepper,
Randy Moss.
Yep.
Robert Smith from Ohio State was the running back, wasn't he?
Yep.
Chris Carter was
still on that team. Yeah. And then you had a kicker that had not missed all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to pour salt in the wounds. That was a tough one.
And when I was a kid, I remember, I think it would have been the 87 conference championship, I think, against the Redskins. Is that right? I'm going back.
Yeah.
Now,
Is that the strike year?
I believe that was that year.
Yeah.
And I was just young enough.
Tommy Kramer?
I took that one I was pretty emotional on that one. So that one hit pretty close to the heart there.
Yeah.
So, but you're at that age where like your passion, you're riding on your team. And I think about those things as I'm speaking even right now. That's what you love about the sports and fan bases and, people being so into it.
Do you still get to watch them on Sunday? I know you're watching a lot of film.
I really don't. What you're watching is you're watching cut-ups. You're watching clips and, we can, we subscribe to, services where we can pretty much punch in, whatever we want. We can get every red zone touchdown, across the NFL. So that's really what you're watching when it comes to the NFL.
You still pull for them though?
Yeah, I think I always check their scores first, more than any other,
So you're always stealing plays, though. That's why you're watching.
Always. I mean, that's really,
yeah,
really what it's been.
Who do you watch in the NFL that you're like, man, I love that offensive concept?
It's got to be Sean McVay.
It's got to be Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins coach.
It's got to be Andy Reid. It's got to be Andy Reid.
Sean McVay.
You just named almost all of them.
Except Kyle Shanahan.
You'll see bits and pieces of that, all of those in our offense. There's some things we do with routes, intermediate routes, and short option routes, that go back to the Buffalo Bills of a few years back, and so Ken Dorsey, who's now with the Cleveland Browns, he was there at that time. So there's a lot of those different type of concepts, and all those guys you just mentioned. We watched a lot of the film.
Yeah, you watch Mike McDaniel, like, if I had Tyreek Hill, I could do that, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of Tua film being shown up in Washington last year.
Good.
During the fall.
Yeah.
Well, you had great receivers last year. This receiver group. And I brought this up, and a lot of people have. When Alabama was winning championships, they had dominant wide receivers. And, the last couple of years, they've had really good receivers, but they haven't had that dominant guy. And at one time, they had, 4 or 5 guys that were starting in the NFL, which was just ridiculous. But do you feel like you've got some number one go-to guys this year?
Yeah, I think we're still establishing that. I mean, you saw the spring game. I think Jeremy Bernard has got some special skills, and I think you go on down the line, right there. I mean, all those guys are doing their thing and making plays. You can't just go by the spring game. I really like what K-Law did just when he got his touches in the spring game. He showed his speed, he showed his burst, and it's different, it's special. And so, a lot of these guys are still, I think, timing with the quarterbacks, and we've been rotating the receivers with the 1s and the 2s for the most part, the guys that would be in the mix. And then we've also, not every drive has been Milroe, because we need to get those other guys action. And so you bump guys up, and Ty's taken a number of series throughout the spring with the 1s. And so the timing still is what, really this summer is what they got to work on. And then in the fall, we just got to refine that. And I think that's when you see these guys continue to climb up and excel and become like what you're asking, who's your go-to guy. And I think we do have multiple guys that can do a lot of special things for us on the football field.
We've got a list we're going to do after I ask you one more.
I got to go grab it.
One more
Okay,
question.
go
You
grab
it while I ask him one more
This
football
is
question.
way too much football for this show. Coach.
Yeah,
we do
usually
not
don't
know
talk
this.
this much football.
We do not know this much
I'm
football.
learning. I'm figuring you guys out.
I will ask you this though. People always talk about people who could leave and go somewhere else. Are you a guy are you shopping as well in the portal? Is there the opportunity is there a position you're looking maybe to maybe find 1 or 2 players during the portal?
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple scholarships. We have a few scholarships left open yet. And so, you're just looking for the right guys, the right fit. I want to be really sensitive to the culture of our team. And, you don't want to bring one in and lose 2 or 3 because of, how that comes across and how it's perceived. But if it's someone who can really help our program, you're always, got your eyes open and paying attention. And so, again, like I said, we got a few scholarships yet that we could fill. And, we want to take advantage of all that. So, offensive line, just numbers. I mean, when you look at just sheer numbers, offensive line and defensive backs, I've said it now for a couple of weeks.
Right.
You could say it going back before we even started spring ball. It's not even necessarily about the talent, which, you're always looking for the top talent, but it's about just sheer numbers to practice and to be able to get the competition that you need out there. And then, defensive back wise, those are a lot of your guys that are involved in special teams too. Got to run down there and tackle. And so, I love the guys that we have. I'm very confident. We rolled out, when you put up Malachi and Keon out there, and Red did an amazing job, kind of Devontae at the Husky position. I mean, and it goes on and on. Those guys did a great job. So it's not even about that. It's just about, bringing in some guys that can help our program, help our team be better, take some snaps here and there on defense, but also give us some depth and help us out with special teams. And you'd love to have some guys that can continue to come up through the program, can continue to develop. And so
that's right. Not this year, but 2 years.
You're growing your program. Yeah. It's about this team first and foremost, being the best we can be this fall, but you're also really trying to think down, grab some institutional, just, growth that can happen in our program.
All right, this is what has turned into our monthly visit with Coach Kalen DeBoer. We used to just go on vacation with the Saban family, so keep that in mind. Coach was with us on the Johnston RV.
And by the way, have you found a house yet?
We did. The family will be moving in about a month.
You want to throw the address out?
You
No,
do not.
I think everyone knows already, so it feels like it. So
we saw the other.
Hey, we showed your picture of your house. We loved your house.
Oh,
yeah.
Tough one to part
We
with.
showed that on
movers are there right now.
You had a wine cellar too, right?
Yeah.
Not a cell. Yeah, wine, an area for
wine area.
Well, you had a lot of open windows.
Don't make
I think of cellar. I think
No, but
downstairs,
Damon Heward and Dan Marino have got passing time. Have you had that wine?
Oh, yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's great. It's great wine. You're welcome, Damon. Passing time, got a little pub there.
Yeah. Brock does a lot of work with us, so we love Brock.
Brock's
great.
He's your number one hype man, by the way.
Yeah, he told us, man. I've been telling you, the minute the story broke, he's like, home run. Brock is your biggest fan.
The Heward family's been great.
Good people.
They're awesome.
Yep.
They're great friends too.
All right, we got a list because we've talked way too much football.
Okay, here we go. Last TV show you watched start to finish.
Oh my gosh, I know that should be really easy, but I mean, the thing I've watched start to finish that I can think of right now would have been the Final Four game. That's not a TV show, but that's
a show.
I did. I made sure I got a point to sit down.
How much fun was that watching what Nate did?
I loved it, and I just had a chance to sit with him yesterday for a few minutes, and he's busy too. But man, that's a blast when you see these guys, come together. And I mean, he's done some great work here, and asked him a couple of questions about things. I know he's learned a lot from Coach Saban in his time, and becoming a better coach. And it was fun, picking his brain on a few things, whether it's about the institution or just, how he goes about, his day and things like that.
The new playoff is going to be a little like what he went through. I mean, you're going to have to win multiple games now to get to the championship.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
crazy.
But it was fun watching that.
If Alabama had a better basketball play-by-play guy, they would have won the Final Four.
That's what they said. Okay, a little deeper on this one. What do you remember most about your first date with your wife, Nicole?
Well, it wasn't the first date when I was going to say when I proposed to her, but that's what I think about. I said, that's not the first date. That would be jumping into things a little quick.
Do identify talent quickly.
Oh man,
do you remember where he went?
Yeah, I mean, we were always there in Sioux Falls. So, see, here's the thing with her. Like I can forever hold up. There was a couple months ago, they asked how many years we'd been married, and she kind of had to think about it a little bit. So anything I ever say, I'm always in the clear because I knew right away it was 22 years we've been married.
Because you knew about football seasons, don't you?
Yeah, 2001 we went to the national championship, right? And so
it's always sport.
The funny thing was we were 6-4 my first year as an offense coordinator at Sioux Falls, and she had just met me and she wasn't familiar with the whole football thing and the expectations there and the wedding date piece. And I'm like, we got to do it December 29th. Okay, I put that out there. And she's like, December 20th. I go, well, the national championship's the 22nd, and we were 6-4 the year before, and she's like, what are we talking about here? We went to the national championship. So
that's the expectation.
It was a busy week and a half there.
Well, you talked about how important the 1 seed was when you were at Sioux Falls. What is the coldest game you've ever coached in?
There's a couple of them. They would be playoff games. Playoff games at Sioux Falls, home field,
and people still
we're talking about, yeah. I mean, all relative, right? Not 72,000, but it's all relative. I mean, there was a couple games that were the coldest one was probably where it was a little warmer. It was 10 to 15 degrees, but the wind chill, knocked it well below zero.
You will never get that here. Do you thank God for
I'm
that?
Good. I'm good. Yeah,
You've had enough of that,
there's
right?
A piece of that. Now
mid-August.
In the end, it's about winning. You find a way to win, and we utilized everything we had there with that. But
yeah, I don't know if you've heard, Tuscaloosa is literally one of the hottest countries in the world.
It's like 5 degrees hotter than anywhere else in Alabama.
Yeah, I don't even act like I know what it's going to feel like because then people just say you don't even know.
The freaking humidity is incredible down here.
Now, this might go back to your wife, Nicole, but one place you guys must visit before you die. Is there anything that you just got to go?
Oh,
Dollywood.
There's a lot of places that I feel, just
like Nick's in Germany. Nick's in Germany right now.
That's
Where
right,
are you going?
Yeah.
Did you say Tahoe?
We've been to Tahoe before, so that was a good. When we were in Fresno State, that was just around the.
Do you have a passport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good.
Well, I'm just saying, we're going to get outside of the States.
We have not spent much time. In fact, we've never spent time outside of the country together. So, I've spent some time in a week in Germany, just speaking at a clinic and stuff like that. It's always football related, of course, but I think some of those type of trips are the ones that we certainly, checking out other areas of the world, beyond the United States. So
just watching spring practice, you've got a pipeline in Germany right now. So
yeah,
keep that going.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
Just a few more here. First game you ever took your kids to, do you remember?
First non-coat, something outside.
Yeah. I know it's tough to do with your schedule.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
You're talking. Yeah. It would probably be the ones I remember. Would probably be when we were down at Southern Illinois. So you're talking about like St. Louis and the Cardinals. Baseball, a lot of it. Wherever we lived, there was actually some pretty good baseball when Detroit was doing well when we lived in Eastern Michigan. So
do you enjoy watching baseball more than football?
I mean, it's kind of the time of the year, where you can kind of get away and do something as a family. You don't go to football games. You really don't, other than your own. So the thing I appreciate my kids are. I've seen pictures of them, kind of be intense, in the playoff games and things like that. And those big moments come, they really get into it. I appreciate them. They love the not just what I do, but they love the team and support us big time.
2 more. Strangest place you've been recognized. We heard about Walgreens, but
that was in Tuscaloosa, though.
I think it isn't the strangest place. I mean, you're always gonna be recognized in the airport, but man, I got into an airport one time, wee hours, and I'm like, there's no one here. And there was 3 people walking down, and of course, I mean, they're behind me.
Were you Washington at the time or Alabama?
No, here.
Oh, so it was already Alabama.
I'm going most recent,
Yeah,
so,
most recent. So there are 3 guys behind you. Is it Birmingham Airport?
I was in Atlanta.
Hartsfield.
So I mean, and there's no one. It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, we're gonna be in the clear.
Right.
I got to get to my flight and stuff, and it's about an hour away from an hour and a half, and so, yeah, it was caught me by surprise.
Final one, last fast food restaurant drive-through you went through.
I'm pretty close to Arby's right now. So
have you been through there?
Yeah, I've been through.
What do you get at Arby's? What's the go-to order?
I got a sweet tooth, so I usually some type of like chocolate shake or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you like that Jamocha shake they got?
I've never had that.
Have you not? I'm not a big coffee
I'm good
guy.
with just simple.
So chocolate vanilla.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, everyone that knows me knows I got a bad sweet tooth. So,
what's your favorite dessert?
It would be some type of ice cream.
Oh, really?
Any type of ice cream. Yeah, all of it. So,
well, Coach, man, we appreciate you.
Well, what's that?
No. I didn't mean to react that way. Have you had banana pudding? That's a deep South thing.
Oh, yeah, that would be up there. They're all up there.
I know. I'm with you, Coach.
So
here's the crazy thing. Anytime I eat, I immediately crave something sweet. That is dangerous.
I can go all day, and I would, if you told me I got some type of dessert or sweet, something that would cater to my sweet tooth, I can wait all day and just wait for that.
It's phenomenal. I love sweets all day. Yeah,
man,
I'm with you.
It's a bad deal.
What's your typical workout?
Yeah. That's a short conversation right now. So
are you familiar with the transfer portal?
I got some work in walking around the indoor last night, being on the phone. So I guess that's about as.
Do you pace when you're on the phone? I do that all the time.
That's when I feel like that's probably
that's a good
thing
exercise
for me. That's probably seems like I'm standing up a lot when I'm on the phone. So I guess you're probably right.
Well, we appreciate the time, and this is the sunniest place we'll ever interview you.
That's right.
We'll we'll get you inside most of the other times we
Oh,
interview
good. It's a beautiful day.
It
Thank
is.
you. And thank you for
Thank you,
supporting
Coach.
the Rise Foundation. We appreciate you so much. He's Kalen DeBoer, and we're the Next Round. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.